Introduction to Energy Awareness. Energy is the invisible thread that runs through every aspect of our existence. It is the silent language of life, the unseen force that fuels our thoughts, movements, emotions, and actions. Every heartbeat, every idea, every word you speak, and every step you take is an expression of energy in motion. To master energy, you must first become aware of it. To understand it not as an abstract scientific term, but as the living pulse of your reality. When we talk about energy, most people instinctively think of electricity, light, or the fuel that powers machines. Yet human energy operates on subtler dimensions. It's the strength that propels you through a long day, the enthusiasm that sparks creativity, the calmness that steadies your decisions, and the warmth that radiates when you connect with someone deeply. Energy awareness begins with recognizing that you are both the vessel and the source of this living power. The universal energy field and ancient wisdom converge on one truth: everything in existence is made up of energy. Quantum physics reveals that even solid matter is just condensed energy vibrating at specific frequencies. The ancient mystics called this prana, chi, or life force. Whether we speak the language of science or spirituality, the essence remains the same. We are energetic beings immersed in an energetic universe. Every living thing has an electromagnetic field. Your body generates energy through every cell, every thought, every breath. This energy field isn't confined to your skin, it extends beyond you, interacting continuously with the environment and with others. Think about how you can sense when someone enters a room. Even before you see them, you feel their presence because their energy interacts with yours. Likewise, you can walk into a space and feel whether it's heavy, tense, or vibrant. That's energy awareness at work, though most of us experience it subconsciously. The 3 dimensions of personal energy. To develop awareness, it helps to view human energy as existing in 3 interrelated dimensions: physical, emotional, and mental. 1. Physical energy is your biological vitality, the fuel that comes from nutrition, rest, exercise, and cellular health. It's what allows you to move, speak, and act in the world. Without physical energy, even the most inspired mind cannot create. 2. Emotional energy flows through feelings, moods, and relationships. When your emotional energy is balanced, you feel grounded, joyful, and connected. When it's blocked or depleted, you may feel anxious, irritated, or drained. 3. Mental energy is the energy of focus, clarity, and thought. It governs how you perceive reality, make decisions, and direct your attention. A sharp mind uses energy efficiently. A scattered mind leaks it constantly. Energy mastery begins when you learn to sense, manage, and harmonize these 3 levels. Awareness is the first step toward that balance. It's about listening to your inner current, feeling when your body is fatigued, when your emotions are turbulent, and when your mind is overstimulated. The more sensitive you become to these fluctuations, the more power you gain over how you experience life. Awareness as observation. Becoming aware of your energy means shifting from autopilot to conscious observation. Most people operate without noticing how their energy fluctuates throughout the day. They wake up tired, push through deadlines, react emotionally to stress, and collapse at night, all without realizing how much energy they've spent or where it went. Awareness interrupts this unconscious cycle. Start observing your energy like a scientist studying a living experiment. Yourself. Notice what energizes you and what drains you. Pay attention to your body's cues: tension in the shoulders, heaviness in the chest, or lightness after a walk in nature. Observe how different environments affect you. Do certain places uplift you? Do certain conversations leave you depleted? These observations form the foundation of energy awareness. This process doesn't require judgment, it requires curiosity. The moment you start judging your fatigue or frustration, you add resistance, which itself consumes energy. Instead, adopt the stance of a compassionate witness. You're not trying to fix your energy. You're learning to see it clearly. Only what you can observe can you eventually transform. The energy of thought and emotion, energy awareness deepens when you realize that thoughts and emotions are not abstract. They are energetic events. A single thought carries a vibration. An emotion is a wave of energy moving through your system. Positive thoughts and emotions like gratitude, compassion, and inspiration produce high-frequency vibrations that expand your energy field. Negative ones like anger, fear, or resentment constrict it. Every thought you repeat becomes a pattern, a frequency that you broadcast continuously. If your mental energy is dominated by worry, it sends ripples of stress through your body and your surroundings. If it's filled with peace or optimism, it creates coherence and ease. This is why mastering your energy begins with mastering your inner dialogue. You don't need to silence your mind. You need to become aware of what it's saying and how it feels energetically. Similarly, emotions are signals, not enemies. Feeling low energy is not failure, it's feedback. When sadness, fatigue, or frustration arise, they're pointing toward areas where energy is blocked or misdirected. Energy awareness invites you to feel without attachment, to let emotion flow rather than get stuck. The word emotion literally means energy in motion. When you suppress it, you freeze that energy. When you acknowledge and release it, you restore flow. The subtle language of the body, your body, is a precise energy instrument. It constantly communicates their sensations: warmth, tightness, tingling, lightness, or heaviness. Yet in modern life, many people are disconnected from this inner language. We live in our heads, analyzing instead of feeling. Energy awareness asks you to come back into the body, to sense life directly rather than conceptually. Try this simple awareness exercise. Pause for a moment and close your eyes. Feel your breath entering your nostrils. Notice the expansion in your chest or abdomen. Without trying to change anything, observe the rhythm. Then, shift your attention to your hands and notice any sensations: tingling, warmth, vibration. What you're feeling is your energy field. It's subtle but real. Over time, this practice heightens your sensitivity, allowing you to detect shifts in energy long before they manifest as fatigue, anxiety. This body-based awareness is ancient. Yogis, martial artists, and healers have trained for centuries to feel and direct life force through specific channels in the body. Whether you call them chakras, meridians, or biofields, the concept remains: energy moves through pathways, and awareness allows you to keep those pathways open. The flow and resistance principle: all energy operates by one simple law of flow creates vitality, resistance creates depletion. When energy flows freely through your system, you feel alive, creative, and connected. When it's blocked by tension, fear, or unresolved emotion, you feel stuck or drained. Awareness allows you to sense where resistance lives within you. Notice moments of flow. When time disappears while you're creating, playing, or helping others. That's energy moving harmoniously through your system. Now notice moments of resistance. When you force yourself through tasks you resent, when you argue, when you replay worries in your mind. Those are energetic bottlenecks. The more aware you become of this contrast, the more skillfully you can navigate toward flow. Energy mastery isn't about constant high intensity. It's about balanced flow. Sometimes that means rest and stillness. Sometimes it means focused action. Awareness helps you sense what the moment requires. Like a skilled surfer reading the ocean, you learn to ride the waves of your energy rather than fight them. Environmental energy doesn't exist in isolation. Every space, object, and person around you carries an energetic signature. That's why certain rooms feel peaceful while others feel chaotic. It's why you might feel uplifted in nature, but drained in a crowded, noisy environment. Energy awareness extends beyond the self. It involves perceiving how your surroundings influence your internal state. Your environment reflects and shapes your energy. Cluttered spaces often mirror mental clutter. Natural light, plants, colors, and sounds all affect your vibrational state. Even digital energy, the constant stream of notifications, messages, and media, shapes how your mind and nervous system operate. Awareness means noticing these external energies and choosing consciously what you expose yourself to. The same applies to people. Human interaction is an energetic exchange. Some people radiate calm and strength. Others unconsciously project stress or negativity. This doesn't mean avoiding others, but recognizing how interactions affect you. When you're aware, you can engage compassionately without absorbing their energy. You learn to stay grounded in your own field. The role of intention is one of the most powerful tools of energy awareness. Where intention goes, energy flows. Every decision, every goal, every conversation is infused with intention, conscious or unconscious. When you become aware of your intentions, you gain the ability to direct energy with precision. For instance, when you start your day with the intention to remain centered and grateful, your energy organizes itself around that vibration. When you enter a meeting intending to listen deeply, instead of to win an argument, the energy of the interaction changes. Intention gives structure to energy. Awareness gives direction to intention. Together, they create alignment. The observer's power, the simple act of observing energy changes it. This principle is echoed in quantum physics, the observer effect, and in meditation traditions worldwide. When you bring awareness to your inner state, you subtly elevate its vibration. Awareness is healing in itself because it introduces consciousness where there was unconsciousness. Think of awareness as light. Darkness doesn't resist light. It simply disappears when light is present. In the same way, when you illuminate your inner energy with awareness, stagnation and confusion to dissolve naturally. You don't need to force change, you simply need to see clearly. Awakening sensitivity, at first. Energy awareness might feel vague or abstract, but with practice, it becomes vivid and intuitive. Sensitivity is not weakness, it's intelligence. The more sensitive you become to energy, the more skillfully you can navigate the world. You'll sense opportunities before they appear, detect imbalance before it turns into exhaustion, and align with people and environments that enhance your vitality. This awakening of sensitivity is like learning a forgotten language, the language of life itself. Every experience, every person, every moment communicates energetically. As your awareness deepens, life begins to reveal its hidden dimension, one of vibration, rhythm, and flow. Energy as a currency. When we speak of mastery, one truth becomes increasingly evident: energy is the ultimate currency of life. It is what determines what can create, how deeply you can love, how clearly you can think, and how fully you can live. Money, time, and opportunity all depend on this one invisible asset: your energy. Without it, wealth means nothing, time feels like a burden, and potential remains untapped. The awareness that energy is currency reshapes your relationship with yourself, your goals, and the world around you. The illusion of time. The reality of energy. Modern society worships time. We measure success in hours worked, productivity in minutes saved, and progress in deadlines met. Yet, time is not the real limitation, energy is. You can have all the time in the world, but if you wake up exhausted, uninspired, or emotionally drained, that time becomes useless. Conversely, when you are vibrant and centered, you can achieve in one focused hour what others might not accomplish in a day. Energy determines your capacity to use time effectively. Time passes whether you act or not. Energy is what allows you to shape those passing moments into something meaningful. The richest people in the world, emotionally and spiritually, are not necessarily those with the most time or money, but those who have learned to manage their energy wisely. They spend it consciously, invest it intentionally, and avoid leaking it on things that don't align with their purpose. The economics of energy, just like financial currency, energy follows the principles of income, expenditure, investment, and loss. You can earn energy through nourishing activities, rest, connection, creativity, movement. You can spend it on work, relationships, and responsibilities. You can invest it into learning, growth, or service. Actions that generate more energy over time. And you can lose it through stress, conflict, overcommitment, or worry. The equivalent of energetic debt. Consider your daily routine as an energetic economy. When you wake up, you have a certain balance of energy in your account. Each decision you make either adds to or subtracts from it. Scrolling mindlessly through social media might seem small, but it can withdraw more energy than you realize. Through distraction, comparison, or overstimulation. A heartfelt conversation, on the other hand, can deposit energy, leaving you refreshed. Energy awareness helps you start living like a conscious investor, instead of an unconscious spender. The question becomes, where is my energy going? Do you spend it on worry, resentment, and regret, or on creativity, gratitude, and contribution? Every thought and emotion carries a cost or a return. Once you begin tracking your energetic economy, you start to see patterns. Where you profit and where you leak. High value and low value energy investments. Not all energy exchanges are equal. Some yield compound returns. They multiply the longer you invest in them. Others depreciate quickly, leaving you drained and unfulfilled. High value energy investments include a time spent in alignment with your values and purpose. Deep rest that rejuvenates body and mind. Authentic connection and love. Learning and creating something meaningful. Practices that raise your vibration. Meditation, movement, nature. These generate long-term energetic wealth. They not only replenish your energy today, but also expand your capacity for energy tomorrow. Low value or depleting investments, on the other hand, include activities done out of guilt, obligation, or fear. Consuming toxic media or engaging in gossip. Overthinking and self-criticism. Overwork without recovery. When environments filled with negativity or chaos. These are like buying into a company that consistently loses value. You keep investing, but your energetic returns diminish. The key to mastery is energy discernment. Learning to distinguish between what truly nourishes your spirit and what merely distracts you. Many people confuse stimulation with energy. Coffee, adrenaline, or constant busyness can feel like energy, but they often deplete your reserves over time. True energy arises from coherence, not chaos, from flow, not force. The law of energetic exchange in every interaction, whether with people, projects, or even ideas, there is an exchange of energy. When you speak with someone, you don't just trade words, you trade frequency. When you pour your energy into work, art, or service, you infuse it with your vibration, and that energy continues to live within the result. Understanding this law makes you conscious of how you participate in every exchange. If you give without boundaries, you may end up energetically bankrupt. If you take without gratitude, your energetic flow stagnates. Healthy exchange is about balance, giving with intention, receiving with openness, and ensuring that what you offer to the world reflects the frequency you wish to live in. It also means recognizing that money itself is a form of energy. It's a physical representation of value exchanged. When you view money energetically, rather than emotionally, your relationship with it transforms. You stop seeing it as scarce or abundant. Instead, you see it as a reflection of the energy you circulate. People who give genuine value and operate from integrity often attract more wealth. Not because of luck, but because their energetic flow aligns with expansion, not contraction. Energy leaks and energetic debt. Just as with finances, many people live in energetic debt. They spend more energy than they generate, overcommitting, people-pleasing, multitasking, or carrying emotional burdens from the past. Over time, this imbalance leads to fatigue, burnout, and disconnection. The body begins to whisper warnings through exhaustion or tension. The mind becomes foggy. Emotions grow heavy. These are signs that your energy balance is negative. Energy leaks occur in small, unnoticed ways. Saying yes when you mean no, holding grudges, keeping unfinished tasks open in your mind, engaging in relationships that drain rather than uplift. Every unresolved situation consumes a fragment of your energy, like an app running in the background of your consciousness. Awareness allows you to identify these leaks and close them through forgiveness, clarity, or letting go. To restore energetic solvency, you must prioritize replenishment as much as productivity. Just as a business cannot sustain itself by spending more than it earns, you cannot thrive if you constantly withdraw energy without depositing it back. Rest is not laziness, it's an essential investment. Joy, creativity, and stillness are not indulgences. They are ways of restoring energetic wealth. The energy ROIs, return on investment. Every action you take has an energetic return. Think of ROI, return on investment, not just in financial terms, but in emotional and spiritual ones. Does what you're doing expand your energy or contract it? Does it leave you inspired or depleted? For instance, spending an hour helping someone in need might cost physical effort, but yield emotional and spiritual energy that's tenfold greater. Conversely, spending an hour arguing online might cost emotional peace with no return at all. The energetic ROI is the true measure of value in your life. Start evaluating your choices by their energy ROI. When faced with a decision, ask, well, will this energize or drain me? Is this aligned with my higher intention? Does this feel light or heavy in my body? Your intuition is the most reliable currency calculator. It instantly senses the energetic value of choices long before logic can explain them. Energy compounding, just like in finance, energy has a compounding effect. Small, consistent deposits over time lead to exponential growth. Meditation for 5 minutes a day might seem insignificant, but over months, it builds an internal reservoir of calm and clarity. A daily walk, a morning gratitude practice, or a mindful breath before reacting. These small actions accumulate and multiply your energetic wealth. The same principle applies to negative patterns. Chronic stress, resentment, or procrastination compound as well, eroding vitality day by day. The compounding effect means that energy mastery is not about dramatic transformations. It's about consistent awareness and intentional choices that build energetic equity over time. Energy as influence. When you manage your energy like currency, your influence expands naturally. People are drawn to those whose energy feels abundant and steady, not because of charisma, but because coherence is magnetic. When your energy is aligned, you become a source rather than a seeker. Your presence itself becomes valuable currency. Think of leaders who inspire without shouting, healers who calm by their presence, artists with others without words. They have cultivated energetic capital, the ability to transmit vibration through being. This is not manipulation, its resonance. The more balanced and authentic your energy, the more others feel safe and uplifted in your presence. Energy mastery is not selfish, it's service-oriented. When your energy account is full, you can give generously without depletion. When it's empty, even giving feels like loss. Thus, the greatest gift you can offer the world is your own energetic alignment. Your inner wealth becomes a resource for collective growth. The currency of attention energy follows attention. Whatever you focus on expands. This is one of the most profound energetic truths. Attention is the steering wheel of your energy. Every moment, you are spending energy through focus on thoughts, feelings, or external events. When your attention is scattered, pulled by distractions, notifications, or worries, your energy fragments. When it's unified, anchored in the present, your energy consolidates. That's why mindfulness is not just a spiritual practice, but an energetic discipline. It reclaims the currency of your attention and channels it into creation rather than consumption. In a world designed to hijack attention, protecting your focus becomes a form of energetic sovereignty. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you save energy. Every time you bring your attention back to what truly matters, you make a wise energetic investment. The generosity principle energy, like money, grows through circulation. Hoarded energy stagnates, shared energy expands. This is why acts of kindness, generosity, and service often leave you feeling more energized rather than less. When you give sincerely, without expectation, you activate the universal law of flow. What you send out returns multiplied, though not always in the form you expect. Generosity does not mean depletion. It means giving from overflow, not from scarcity. When your energy economy is balanced, generosity becomes effortless. A natural expression of abundance. The key is to give what you truly have, not what you lack. Offering your time, attention, or compassion from a full heart keeps your energetic circulation healthy. The currency of authenticity. Perhaps the most valuable energy of all is authenticity. When you live aligned with your truth, you conserve immense of energy that would otherwise be spent maintaining false images, pleasing others, or suppressing your feelings. Pretending is expensive. Authenticity is efficient. Every time you speak honestly, make a choice aligned with your values, or express yourself freely, you reclaim energy that was once trapped in self-doubt or fear. Authenticity also attracts resonance. When your energetic signature actions and intentions, life begins to align effortlessly. Opportunities, relationships, and synchronicities flow toward you because your vibration is clear. Inauthenticity creates friction. Authenticity creates flow. Energy mastery means realizing that being fully yourself is the most valuable investment you can make. The science of energy. To master energy, one must not only feel it but also understand it. Energy is not just a mystical or philosophical idea. It's a scientific reality. Every process in the universe, from the birth of a star to the firing of a neuron in your brain, is governed by the same universal laws of energy. The more you understand these laws, the more consciously you can align your life with them. Awareness gives you sensitivity. Knowledge gives you precision. Everything is energy at its most fundamental level. Reality is not made of solid matter. It is made of vibrating energy fields. Quantum physics shattered the old Newtonian view of a mechanical universe and revealed that atoms, once thought to be the smallest building blocks of matter, are mostly empty space filled with dynamic waves of energy. The electrons that orbit atomic nuclei do not move in predictable, fixed paths but exist as probability fields, constantly flickering between possibilities. This means that what we perceive as solid matter, your body, a table, a mountain, is actually energy condensed into form. The difference between physical objects lies not in the material itself, but in the frequency at which the energy vibrates. High-frequency energy manifests as light and thought. Low-frequency energy condenses as matter. You, as a human being, are a vibrational orchestra, a symphony of frequencies interacting in constant flux. When you grasp this, energy awareness becomes more than metaphor. It becomes a literal truth. The way you think, breathe, move, and feel changes your frequency, which in turn shapes your physical reality. Thoughts are not merely electrical impulses. They carry measurable energetic signatures. Emotions, too, have vibrational patterns that influence everything from your cellular health to the electromagnetic field surrounding your body. The human energy field, every living organism radiates an electromagnetic field, a measurable halo of energy that reflects its inner state. In humans, this field extends several feet beyond the body and changes continuously with emotions, thoughts, and physical conditions. Science has begun to catch up with what ancient traditions always knew. Your energy field is a living interface between you and the world. The heart, in particular, plays a central role in this field. Research by the HeartMath Institute has shown that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field about 60 times stronger in amplitude than that produced by the brain. This field not only influences your body's internal coherence, but also interacts with the energy fields of others. When you are calm, loving, or grateful, your heart rhythm becomes harmonious, and this coherence radiates outward, affecting those around you. Similarly, brainwave studies show that your mental state alters your energetic frequency. Beta waves dominate during active thinking, alpha waves during relaxation, theta during meditation, and delta during deep sleep. Each of these frequencies corresponds to specific patterns of energy flow in the body. When your mind and body synchronize, your energy field becomes coherent, meaning all systems operate harmoniously, like instruments playing in tune. When they are incoherent, due to stress, anger, or anxiety, your energy becomes fragmented, and you feel drained or unfocused. Energy, matter, and vibration, Nikola Tesla once said. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. These three principles govern all creation. The energy is the potential, the essence of all existence. A frequency is the rate at which that energy vibrates. A vibration is the expression or movement of that energy. Everything that exists vibrates at a specific frequency, including your thoughts, emotions, and even your organs. Health is coherence of vibration. Illness is dissonance. When energy flows freely through your system, your frequency remains stable and balanced. When it becomes blocked or disrupted, disharmony arises, first energetically, then physically. This is why ancient healing practices like acupuncture, Reiki, Qigong, and pranic healing focus on restoring energetic flow. They operate on the understanding that every physical symptom has an energetic origin. Modern medicine treats the biochemical outcome. Energy science treats the vibrational cause. When both approaches work together, true healing becomes possible. Bioenergetics, the science of life energy. Bioenergetics bridges the gap between biology and physics, studying how energy moves within and between living systems. Every cell in your body functions as a tiny battery, maintaining a voltage difference between its inner and outer membranes. This electrical potential powers nearly every biological process, from muscle contraction to nerve transmission and DNA replication. You are, in essence, an electromagnetic being sustained by constant electrical communication. The mitochondria within your cells generate ATP, the molecule that stores and transfers energy for life functions. But ATP production is not purely chemical. It's influenced by light and vibration. Recent studies in biophysics suggest that cells communicate not only through biochemical signals, but also through biophotons, tiny packets of light emitted by DNA. These biophotons transmit information across your body at the speed of light, coordinating processes faster than any chemical signal could. Your body literally glows with energy. This understanding gives new meaning to the concept of vitality. When your internal energy systems are aligned, your cells emit light coherently like a well-tuned laser. When they are stressed, the light becomes chaotic, like static interference. Emotional states, thought patterns, and environmental factors all affect this coherence. Energy mastery, therefore, is not an abstract pursuit. It's a practical approach to maintaining biological harmony at the quantum level. The energy spectrum of emotion, science is beginning to map how emotions correspond to measurable energy frequencies. Emotions like love, joy, and gratitude produce coherent electromagnetic patterns, promoting synchronization in the nervous system and heart rhythms. Negative emotions like fear, anger, or shame create erratic, incoherent patterns that disrupt physiological harmony. Dr. David Hawkins, in his work Power vs. Force, proposed a scale of consciousness where emotions correspond to levels of energy measured in frequency. At the lower end are shame and guilt, vibrating around 20-30 Xe, which weaken the body and mind. Mid-range emotions like courage and acceptance, around 200-400 Hz, build strength and stability. The highest frequencies, love, joy, peace, enlightenment, 500 Hz and above, expand awareness and vitality. While the specific numbers are symbolic rather than literal, the principle holds true. Your emotional state is an energetic frequency that influences your physical reality. By raising your emotional vibration, you literally raise your biological coherence. Gratitude, for example, has been shown to increase heart rate variability, a key indicator of emotional and physiological balance. Energy flow and the nervous system. Your nervous system is the primary channel through which energy flows in the body. The brain and spinal cord conduct electrical impulses that control everything from heartbeat to thought. But this system is not purely mechanical. It's also sensitive to subtle energetic influences. Stress, trauma, or chronic tension can cause energetic blockages, disruptions in the free flow of information between brain and body. The autonomic nervous system, AS, divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic branches, acts as the body's energy regulator. The sympathetic system mobilizes interaction, fight, or flight, while the parasympathetic restores and conserves it as rest and digest. Energy mastery involves cultivating balance between these two forces. Too much sympathetic dominance leads to exhaustion. Too much parasympathetic stagnation causes lethargy. Awareness, breathwork, and mindfulness restore rhythmic balance, allowing energy to flow naturally. In Eastern science, this same principle is described through the chakras, energy centers along the spine that correspond to physical glands and psychological states. Though invisible to Western instruments, their effects are measurable through bioelectrical and emotional correlations. For example, the solar plexus chakra aligns with the adrenal glands and self-esteem. When blocked, it manifests as fatigue or anxiety. Energy awareness of these centers allows for conscious regulation of both physiological and emotional energy. Resonance and entrainment. One of the most fascinating principles of energy science is resonance. When two systems vibrate at similar frequencies, they begin to synchronize, a phenomenon known as entrainment. You've experienced this when a tuning fork causes another of the same pitch to vibrate, or when you start to feel calmer in the presence of a peaceful person. Your energy field constantly seeks resonance with its environment. This principle explains why your energy rises or falls depending on who you're around. If you spend time with high-frequency individuals, people who radiate positivity, creativity, and purpose, your energy begins to match theirs. Conversely, being around chronic negativity or fear can lower your frequency. This isn't mystical contagion, it's resonance in action. Just as two clocks placed near each other eventually synchronize, human energy systems entrain naturally. Understanding resonance also empowers you to shape your environment consciously. Music, colors, words, and even thoughts emit frequencies. Surrounding yourself with harmonious vibrations, natural light, uplifting music, meaningful dialogue, entrains your system to coherence. You are both an emitter and a receiver in this universal field of vibration. The observer effect. Quantum science also introduced a concept with profound implications for energy mastery, the observer effect. Experiments have shown that the act of observation alters the behavior of particles. When unobserved, particles exist in a state of probability, waves of potential. When observed, they into a definite state. Consciousness, it seems, plays an active role in shaping reality. This aligns with ancient teachings that awareness itself directs energy. What you focus on, with emotion and intention, collapses potential into form. This doesn't mean you, magically, manifest everything you think about, but that your consciousness organizes energy fields toward your dominant vibration. Observation is not passive, it's creative. The observer and the observed are not separate. They are two sides of the same energetic dance. This understanding transforms how you approach your own life. You realize that by observing your energy with clarity and intention, you subtly influence its flow. Awareness becomes an act of creation. Your thoughts are not private, they ripple into the quantum field, shaping the energetic landscape in which you live. Energy and coherence, a coherent energy system, one in which all parts work in harmony, the heart, mind, and body synchronized in rhythm. Incoherence, by contrast, is internal chaos, conflicting signals that waste energy. Coherence doesn't mean stillness, it means rhythm. Just as a symphony can contain both quiet and thunderous movements yet remain in harmony, a coherent person can move through challenge with centeredness and grace. Scientific tools like electroencephalograms, EEGs and heart rate variability monitors now measure coherence directly. Studies show that meditation, gratitude, and emotional regulation increase coherence, leading to improved immune function, creativity, and resilience. The takeaway is profound. Your state of consciousness directly affects your physiology and external outcomes. The bridge between science and spirit. The science of energy doesn't negate spirituality. It illuminates it. What mystics intuited through meditation, science is now beginning to verify through measurement. The ancient saying, "As within, so without," gains scientific grounding. Your internal energy field shapes your external experience. When your energy vibrates coherently, you resonate with clarity, health, and synchronicity. When it's fragmented, life mirrors that fragmentation. Understanding this bridge empowers you to integrate both worlds. You no longer see energy as mystical or mechanical. It's both. You are a biological organism and a vibrational field, a physical being and a wave of consciousness. The science of energy reminds you that every heartbeat, every breath, every thought is part of a cosmic exchange, a continuous conversation between the seen and the unseen, the measurable and the mysterious. Energy leaks energy. Mastery is not only about generating power, it's about preserving it. Most people don't suffer from a lack of energy. They suffer from unnoticed energy leaks, small consistent drains that quietly deplete vitality, focus, and joy. Just as a water tank can't stay full with even a tiny crack, your life force cannot remain strong when you unconsciously allow energy to seep away through unhealed emotions, scattered attention, and unaligned actions. The hidden cost of unawareness. Energy leaks often go undetected because they disguise themselves as normal habits. Overthinking, constant digital distraction. Worrying about what others think, replaying old conflicts. These seem harmless, but each one draws on your energetic reserves. Every thought, every reaction is a form of expenditure. When awareness is low, you spend energy automatically and receive little in return. The result is chronic fatigue, not caused by physical effort, but by mental and emotional overexertion. Energy awareness starts with observation. Where does my energy go each day? Notice how you feel after certain activities or conversations. Some interactions leave you expanded, others contracted. This simple noticing reveals where you are unconsciously investing energy that doesn't serve your highest state. Emotional leaks, the greatest energy leaks, often come from unresolved emotions. Anger held too long becomes a constant current of resistance. Guilt and shame drain your inner light. Fear and worry tighten your energy field, restricting natural flow. When emotions aren't processed, they linger as low-frequency vibrations that quietly tax your vitality. Releasing emotional energy doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means allowing them to move through you. The word, emotion, itself means energy in motion. When you feel something deeply and let it flow, the energy completes its cycle. When you resist or repress it, you trap that energy inside. Awareness and compassion are the keys to closing emotional leaks. Feel, express, and then release. Mental leaks. The mind is one of the biggest consumers of energy. Every looping thought, unfinished decision, or mental argument drains subtle life force. Overthinking is like leaving lights on in every room of your house. It creates unnecessary consumption. Mental leaks arise from worry about the future, regret over the past, and comparison in the present. The antidote is focus. When you bring your attention fully to the now, energy consolidates. Meditation, journaling, and breath awareness act as mental circuit breakers, shutting down unnecessary thought loops so energy can recharge. Physical leaks. Your body, too, can lose energy through imbalance. Poor sleep, shallow breathing, and dehydration are simple but powerful leaks. So are tension and poor posture, physical manifestations of mental stress. The body mirrors your energetic state. When energy is scattered, the body tightens and weakens. Grounding practices like stretching, movement, mindful eating, and rest seal these leaks by bringing awareness back into the body. Your physical vitality is the foundation upon which mental and emotional energy rest. Without honoring it, mastery remains incomplete. Environmental and relational leaks. Your surroundings continuously influence your energy. Cluttered spaces, constant noise, and chaotic environments scatter your vibration. Similarly, toxic relationships, those built on judgment, drama, or dependency, act like energetic siphons. You may not always be able to avoid such spaces or people, but you can protect your energy through boundaries and intention. Before entering any environment, take a moment to center your breath and set a simple intention. I remain grounded in my energy. This creates a protective field of coherence that reduces energetic exchange with negativity. Energy mastery is not isolation. It's sovereignty. The ability to maintain your frequency regardless of surroundings. The power of closure, unfinished tasks, broken promises, and indecision are subtle yet potent drains. Every open loop in your life consumes mental bandwidth. Completing what you start, or consciously releasing what no longer serves you, restores energy instantly. Closure is not always about action. Sometimes it's acceptance. When you stop carrying what's already done, you reclaim the energy trapped in the past. Conservation through alignment. Ultimately, the best way to prevent energy leaks is to live in alignment. Aligning thoughts, emotions, actions, and values. When you act against your truth, you create internal friction. When you act from integrity, energy flows effortlessly. Authenticity is the tightest seal against leakage because it eliminates the inner conflict that drains vitality. Energy leaks aren't failures, they're feedback. Each one shows you where attention, healing, or realignment is needed. Awareness transforms them into opportunity. As you learn to patch the cracks and redirect your energy with purpose, you stop running on survival power and begin living from inner abundance. Energy recharge. After identifying and sealing energy leaks, the next step in energy mastery is learning how to recharge, to renew and restore your inner power intentionally. Energy is not infinite at the physical level. It ebbs and flows like tides. The secret to sustained vitality isn't constant output, but rhythmic renewal. Just as night restores what the day consumes, deliberate recharging restores what life inevitably spends. The rhythm of renewal. Nature operates in cycles. Day and night, inhale and exhale, growth and rest. Human beings, too, are bound to these natural rhythms. Yet, in modern life, we often resist them. We glorify constant activity and undervalue stillness, mistaking exhaustion for accomplishment. True mastery requires returning to natural balance, periods of creation, followed by periods of restoration. When you honor this rhythm, energy replenishes itself organically. The body has its own internal clock, the circadian rhythm, governing sleep, hormones, digestion, and mood. Disrupting this rhythm through irregular sleep, artificial light, or overstimulation confuses your system and weakens your vitality. Recharging begins with synchronizing yourself to nature's flow, waking with light, winding down at dusk, and allowing rest to be sacred, not optional. Sleep. The ultimate recharger. Sleep is the most powerful and accessible form of energy restoration. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissue, balances hormones, and consolidates memory. More importantly, your energy field recalibrates. Emotional residue from the day is cleared, and your subtle frequencies reset. Yet, many people treat sleep as a negotiation rather than a necessity. Quality matters as much as quantity. A quiet, dark environment, a consistent bedtime, and digital disconnection an hour before sleep can dramatically improve energetic recovery. Think of sleep not as an escape from productivity, but as the foundation that makes all productivity possible. Breath, the gateway to instant recharge. While sleep replenishes over hours, breath recharges in moments. Breath is the bridge between the physical and energetic bodies. The rhythm that carries life force, aus prana, chi through every cell. Most people breathe shallowly, unconsciously, allowing only partial recharging. Conscious breathing instantly shifts energy. Slow, deep breaths stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the mind and allowing energy to flow freely again. Techniques like box breathing, alternate nostril breathing, or simply pausing to inhale fully and exhale slowly act as instant resets. When you breathe with awareness, you signal to your body, I am safe, I am present, I am alive. Nutrition and hydration. Fuel for the energy body. Food and water are physical carriers of energy. Beyond calories, every food holds a vibrational quality. Fresh, natural, colorful foods are high frequency, processed or chemically dense foods are low frequency. You are not only feeding your body, you're feeding your frequency. Hydration, too, is vital. Water conducts electricity, and your body, an intricate bioelectric system, relies on it for energy transmission. Dehydration literally slows your inner circuitry. Drinking pure water with mindfulness, imagining it cleansing and revitalizing your cells, turns an ordinary act into a conscious energy ritual. Rest in stillness. Rest is not idleness, it is active restoration. Stillness allows energy to settle and reorganize. Meditation, quiet reflection. or simply sitting in silence recharges your subtle systems faster than constant activity ever could. Think of it as plugging into your internal source. Stillness doesn't always mean sitting still. Gentle movement, yoga, tai chi, or walking in nature, harmonizes energy by combining motion with mindfulness. These practices balance the nervous system, open energy channels, and renew vitality at every level. Movement and stillness are not opposites. They are complementary currents in the river of energy. Joy and connection. Emotional energy also recharges through joy, laughter, love, and connection. When you do what you love, energy flows naturally. When you connect authentically with others, shared energy amplifies your own. Joy raises your vibration faster than effort. Music, art, nature, play, all are forms of energetic nourishment. The heart is the generator of high-frequency energy. When you act from gratitude, kindness, or compassion, you open the heart's field, which replenishes both you and those around you. This is why helping others often leaves you feeling more alive. Giving from genuine love generates energy, rather than drains it. The art of sacred pause to recharge hides not only in sleep or meditation, but in the small pauses between moments. When you stop rushing and simply be. These micro pauses throughout the day allow energy to reset before depletion occurs. A single minute of conscious breathing between meetings, a few seconds of silence before responding, a mindful glance at the sky. Each is a doorway to replenishment. Energy mastery is not about escaping life to recharge, but learning to renew within life. Recharging as a lifestyle, the most powerful recharge happens when it becomes a way of living, not an occasional act. When you build habits that honor your natural rhythms, every day becomes regenerative instead of exhausting. You wake with purpose, work with focus, and rest with peace. In this state, you no longer chase energy, you generate it. Your life becomes a self-sustaining system where input and output stay balanced. You draw from your inner source, aligned with nature's cycles, connected to the greater field of universal energy that is always available. Mind-body connection, energy mastery deepens when we recognize that the mind and body are not separate, but two expressions of one unified field of consciousness. Every thought creates a biochemical echo, and every physical sensation reflects a mental vibration. Together, they form an inseparable loop, an energetic feedback system that continuously shapes your health, emotions, and overall vitality. To master energy, you must understand this connection not as a theory, but as a living reality. The body listens to every word the mind speaks. The mind feels every signal the body sends. When the two are aligned, energy flows freely and harmoniously. When they are divided, when thoughts contradict feelings or actions betray beliefs, energy becomes tangled, fragmented, and drained. The dialogue between mind and body. Your body is a messenger of your inner state. It communicates through tension, fatigue, and sensation, all reflections of the mind's patterns. Stress in the mind appears as tightness in the shoulders. Fear manifests as knots in the stomach. Joy creates warmth and expansion. The body translates the language of energy into form. This dialogue is constant, yet most people ignore it. We treat symptoms as isolated issues instead of listening to their meaning. A headache, for example, may not only be dehydration or eye strain. It could be a signal of mental overload or unexpressed emotion. A chronic pain might be a manifestation of emotional resistance, unresolved trauma, or a lifestyle misaligned with truth. The first step toward mastery is listening. To listen to the body without judgment, with curiosity and compassion, is to begin healing at the root level. Each sensation holds wisdom. It tells you where energy is blocked and where it wishes to move. At thoughts as energy signals. The mind is not merely an abstract entity. It is an energetic engine that directs the body's chemistry. Every thought triggers a cascade of hormones, neurotransmitters, and physiological responses. When you think stressful thoughts, your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline, preparing your body for fight or flight. When you think peaceful, loving thoughts, serotonin and oxytocin flood your system, activating healing and regeneration. In essence, your body becomes what your mind repeatedly believes. Thoughts of fear or inadequacy contract your energy field. Thoughts of confidence and gratitude expand it. This is not positive thinking in the superficial sense. It is energetic physics. The frequency of your dominant thought patterns determines how energy moves through your system. Training the mind then becomes a physical act of healing. Meditation, mindfulness, are not just mental exercises. They are energetic recalibrations that restore coherence between mind and body. When the mind sends signals of peace, the body mirrors it with balance. When the mind radiates chaos, the body reflects disarray. On emotion, the bridge between thought and physiology. Emotions are the energetic bridge, connecting the invisible world of thought to the tangible world of the body. They are the felt vibrations of your thinking patterns. Every emotion is energy in motion, shaping the chemistry of your inner world. When emotions are allowed to move freely, when sadness is expressed, joy is celebrated, anger is acknowledged. They flow like water through your system. But when emotions are resisted, denied, or suppressed, they stagnate. That stagnation becomes energetic density in the body, eventually manifesting as fatigue, illness, or chronic tension. Recognizing this bridge transforms the way you handle feelings. Instead of fighting or fleeing them, you feel to heal. You breathe through the sensation, let the energy move, and trust that the body knows how to restore equilibrium once it's allowed to process fully. Emotional awareness is body awareness, and both are forms of energy hygiene. The physiology of belief. One of the most profound discoveries in modern science is that beliefs shape biology. The placebo effect, where patients heal through belief in a treatment, even when receiving an inactive substance, reveals the immense power of the mind over the body. Your cells listen to your consciousness. If you believe you are fragile, your body aligns with fragility. If you believe you are strong, your body organizes itself around strength. This doesn't mean denial of reality. It means directing consciousness toward empowerment. The mind's expectations create the energetic blueprint that the body follows. This is why affirmations, visualization, and intentional self-talk are not wishful thinking. They are forms of energetic programming. By visualizing health, peace, and vitality, you are sending coherent signals to your body's intelligence. Over time, those signals manifest physically because your biology reorganizes around the dominant energetic message. Body as the mirror of consciousness, every muscle, organ, and cell carries a vibrational story. The heart reflects your capacity for love and emotional flow. The throat represents self-expression and truth. The stomach processes not only food, but also emotion. When you silence your truth, suppress your heart, or hold on to resentment, those stories eventually imprint on the body. Illness in many spiritual and energetic traditions is viewed not as punishment but as communication. The body's final attempt to bring awareness to an area the mind has ignored. Pain calls attention. Fatigue demands rest. Inflammation screams for peace. When you interpret these signals consciously, healing becomes collaboration instead of combat. Energy mastery, therefore, involves honoring the body as a sacred partner in consciousness. It is the instrument through which your spirit experiences the world. To care for it with awareness, through rest, nutrition, movement, and compassion, is to maintain the clarity of your energetic field. The movement as mind in motion. The mind-body connection thrives through movement. The body is designed to move, and movement circulates energy. When you move consciously, through yoga, dance, tai chi, or even walking, you are not just exercising muscles, you are aligning mind and body into a single current of flow. Movement helps release stuck energy and emotional residue. It invites awareness into every limb and breath. It teaches you presence. Each stretch, each gesture, each inhalation becomes a form of communication between the thinking mind and the feeling body. When movement becomes mindful, it evolves from exercise into energy work. The body becomes a channel through which thought and spirit merge. You begin to sense that energy is not something you generate. It's something you allow to move through you. The role of awareness is the conductor of the mind-body symphony. When you bring attention to the present moment, energy instantly aligns. The mind quiets, the body relaxes, and the natural intelligence of your system takes over. Awareness heals because it unifies what distraction divides. Practices such as meditation, breathwork, or body scanning bring you into this healing awareness. They train you to observe sensations without judgment, to notice where energy feels heavy or light, constricted or open. Over time, this awareness refines your ability to self-regulate energy, preventing imbalance before it turns into illness or exhaustion. Integration. Living from coherence. The ultimate goal of understanding the mind-body connection is coherence, a state where mental, emotional, and physical energies resonate in harmony. In coherence, your thoughts support your feelings empower your actions, and your body flows effortlessly in alignment with your inner truth. You recognize coherence in moments of peace, clarity, and vitality, when you feel fully alive yet deeply calm. Science can measure this state through heart rate variability and brain wave synchrony. But you can sense it intuitively. It feels like balance, ease, and inner glow. Living in coherence doesn't mean never experiencing stress or emotion. It means being aware of the link between them and consciously returning to balance each time you drift. It's not perfection, it's presence. The energetic wisdom energy mastery through the mind. Body connection is a journey of reunion. Reuniting the thinking mind with the sensing body, the rational with the intuitive, the outer with the inner. When you honor this unity, your energy stabilizes, your awareness sharpens, and your healing accelerates. The more you listen to your body, the more clearly it speaks. The more you speak to it with kindness and conscious thought, the more it thrives. You begin to see that the mind is not trapped in the skull, and the body is not limited to flesh. Both are extensions of energy, vibrating within one field of consciousness that you have the power to harmonize. When mind and body become one, energy no longer leaks or fluctuates wildly. It circulates in rhythm, like a self-sustaining current of light. Intelligent, grounded, and infinite. This is the essence of energy mastery, the realization that balance is not achieved by force, but by connection. Emotional energy management. If energy is the current that powers life, then emotion is the current in motion, the raw expression of energy as it flows through your being. The very word emotion comes from the Latin emovere, meaning to move out. Emotions are not obstacles to energy mastery, they are the language of energy itself. To manage emotional energy is not to suppress or control it, but to understand, channel, and transform it into a force that strengthens rather than scatters your vitality. The truth is that most people are not drained by what they do. They are drained by what they feel but never process. Unfelt emotions become frozen energy, blocking flow and clarity. The art of emotional energy management is learning how to allow emotions to move through you, rather than allowing them to own you. The nature of emotional energy Emotions are vibrational frequencies, measurable, transmittable, and contagious. You've felt this in simple moments. The lift you feel in a joyful crowd, the heaviness that lingers after an argument, the calm of being near someone centered. This happens because emotions create electromagnetic fields around the body, influencing not only your mood but your biology. Every emotion carries a frequency. Love, gratitude, and compassion resonate at high, coherent frequencies that strengthen your heart and immune system. Fear, anger, and shame vibrate at lower, chaotic frequencies that constrict your energy field and activate stress responses. None of these emotions are bad. They are messages, signals that show you where energy needs attention, where something is either in harmony or out of alignment. To manage emotional energy is to listen to these messages with intelligence and compassion, rather than reacting unconsciously to them. Emotional awareness. The first step to mastery. You cannot manage what you do not recognize. Most emotional chaos stems from emotional unawareness. The habit of feeling something yet labeling it incorrectly, or numbing it altogether. Many people carry stress that is really sadness, or anger that hides fear, or fatigue that masks emotional overload. The first step toward mastery is naming what you feel. The simple act of saying, "I am feeling anxious," or "I sense disappointment," begins to restore order. Naming shifts energy from the reactive limbic system to the conscious prefrontal cortex, giving you choice. In awareness, you move from being in the emotion to being with the emotion, from being possessed by energy to observing its movement. Try pausing several times a day to ask, "What am I feeling right now, and where do I feel it in my body?" This question anchors emotion in awareness, transforming raw charge into conscious energy. The energy cycle of emotion. Every emotion has a natural cycle: arise, express, release, key, rest. Problems occur when this cycle is interrupted. Suppression stops the flow before release, while indulgence keeps the energy cycling endlessly without resolution. When you suppress emotion, pretending you're fine, holding back tears, silencing your anger, that energy doesn't vanish. It embeds itself in your body, creating tension, fatigue, or illness. Suppressed emotion is energy trapped in time. Conversely, when you indulge emotion, replaying stories, feeding anger, amplifying sadness, you keep the charge alive beyond its natural lifespan. This burns energy unnecessarily, like leaving an engine idling when you're not moving. Emotional mastery is the middle path, allowing emotion to move fully through expression, but not through identification. You witness the energy rise, you allow it to speak, and then you release it, letting the wave return to stillness. Breath, the regulator of emotion, is the bridge between the emotional and physical worlds. Emotions alter breathing patterns, and breath can, in turn, alter emotions. When you are anxious, your breath becomes shallow and rapid. When you are calm, it becomes slow and deep. The relationship is reciprocal. Change one, and the other follows. When strong emotions arise, focus first on breath before thought. Instead of analyzing why you feel angry or sad, breathe through it. Inhale deeply to receive the emotion, exhale fully to release it. Each cycle moves energy that might otherwise stagnate. Practices like coherent breathing, inhaling and exhaling to equal counts, synchronize the heart and brain, bringing emotional equilibrium. The breath becomes your reset button, a way to return to center regardless of outer chaos. The transforming emotional energy doesn't need to be eliminated, it can be transformed. Anger, for example, is not inherently negative. It is the energy of movement and change. When used consciously, it becomes courage, clarity, and action. Fear, when faced, becomes focus and alertness. Sadness, when felt deeply, becomes compassion and connection. The key lies in redirecting the raw current rather than fighting it. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? What is its message? Each emotion has wisdom. What anger shows you where your boundaries have been crossed. A fear shows you where you seek safety or preparation. A sadness reveals what needs release or closure. A joy confirms alignment and flow. When you learn to decode emotions as energy signals, you no longer fear them. You engage with them as teachers. The energy that once drained you becomes the very force that strengthens you. Emotional boundaries and energy protection. Part of managing emotional energy is discerning what is yours and what belongs to others. We are energetic beings, constantly exchanging frequencies through empathy and presence. If you are highly sensitive, you may absorb emotions from people or environments like a sponge, leaving you tired or heavy without understanding why. Setting emotional boundaries doesn't mean closing your heart. It means defining your energetic space. Visualization helps. Imagine your energy field as a sphere of light around you, permeable enough for love and understanding, yet strong enough to filter negativity. Grounding practices, such as walking barefoot, spending time in nature, or centering through deep breath, also help discharge absorbed energy. You cannot manage your emotional world effectively if you are constantly entangled in others' vibrations. Emotional sovereignty is essential to energy mastery. The role of compassion and forgiveness. Emotional management without compassion becomes control. True mastery arises not from suppression, but from understanding and kindness toward yourself and others. Holding grudges or resentment keeps you tethered to the energy of the past. Forgiveness severs that link and releases trapped vitality. Forgiveness is not condoning wrongs. It is reclaiming your power. It says, I release the energetic bond that keeps me bound to this pain. Compassion, similarly, expands your energy field to higher frequencies of empathy and love. These are the most restorative emotions because they unify rather than divide. When you meet your own emotions with gentleness instead of judgment, you teach your energy to stay open. You no longer spend energy fighting yourself. Emotional hygiene. Daily practices like physical hygiene. Emotional hygiene keeps your energy clean and balanced. A few key practices include 1. Daily check-in. Reflect briefly on your emotional state each morning or evening. Awareness is maintenance. 2. Journaling. Writing emotions down transfers them from the energetic body to the page, freeing mental space. 3. Movement exercise, dance, or yoga. Release emotional energy stored in the muscles. 4. Creative expression. Art, music, or writing transform emotion into creation. 5. Stillness and reflection. Silence allows emotional residue to settle and clear naturally. The goal is not to avoid emotion, but to keep it flowing. Stagnant water breeds decay, moving water purifies itself. The same is true for emotional energy. From reactivity to response. Emotional management ultimately leads to one of the greatest forms of power, the power to respond rather than react. Reaction is automatic, driven by the emotional charge. Response is conscious, guided by awareness. When you pause before reacting, you reclaim your energy. You stop letting external events dictate your inner frequency. This shift, from external control to internal regulation, marks the birth of emotional mastery. You move through life with composure, empathy, and grounded strength. The heart, the emotional compass, all emotional energy ultimately converges in the heart. The heart is not just a physical organ, it's the central generator of your electromagnetic field. It communicates with the brain, influencing thoughts and perceptions. When your heart is open and coherent, emotions harmonize naturally. Heart-centered living means feeling fully yet staying balanced, allowing emotions to inform, not dominate. through gratitude, love, and compassion. The heart teaches you to transform energy rather than resist it. When the heart leads, emotions become allies, not enemies. Emotional freedom is energy freedom. The highest expression of emotional energy management is freedom. The ability to feel deeply without losing stability. Freedom doesn't mean never feeling anger, sadness, or fear. It means letting them flow without control over you. It means choosing peace even when chaos visits. When you master emotional energy, you no longer fear the waves, you learn to surf them. You ride emotion consciously, directing energy where you choose. Every feeling becomes fuel for wisdom, creativity, and compassion. This is the heart of energy mastery, transforming emotion from turbulence into flow, from reaction into awareness, from pain into power. Energetic boundaries. Energy mastery requires not only cultivating and replenishing your energy, but also protecting it. Just as the body has skin to protect it from physical intrusion, your energy field has boundaries that preserve your spiritual and emotional integrity. These boundaries define where your energy ends and another's begins. They determine how much influence external forces, people, environments, or collective emotions can have over your internal state. Without energetic boundaries, even the strongest light becomes diffused. You may feel constantly drained, overwhelmed, or uncentered, not because your energy is weak, but because it is too open, unguarded, porous, and easily shaped by the vibrations around you. To establish healthy energetic boundaries is to claim sovereignty over your life force. It is not isolation. It is self-respect at the energetic level. The nature of the energy field. Every human being is surrounded by an aura, or energy field, a subtle electromagnetic field that extends beyond the physical body. Science can now detect this through heart and brain frequencies, though spiritual traditions have long known it intuitively. Your aura is your energetic atmosphere, constantly interacting with the world. When you feel calm and centered, your energy field is strong, clear, and coherent. When you're stressed or emotionally depleted, it becomes thin, fragmented, or chaotic. This makes you more susceptible to absorbing the emotions and energies of others. You've likely felt this without naming it. Walking into a tense room and suddenly feeling anxious, or spending time with someone negative and leaving tired. This is energetic exchange, the invisible transaction of vibration. The stronger your boundaries, the more you can engage with others compassionately, without losing your center. Understanding energetic exchange energy is always moving. Every interaction is an exchange, a give and take of attention, emotion, and vibration. When this exchange is balanced, both people leave nourished. When it is one-sided or unconscious, energy flows unevenly, leaving one person drained and the other charged. You may unconsciously give energy away through overhelping, people-pleasing, or trying to fix others. Likewise, you may take on energy that isn't yours when you absorb someone's pain or tension in an effort to empathize. True empathy doesn't mean carrying others' emotions. It means understanding without merging. Energetic boundaries allow compassion without contamination. They help you care without carrying. You remain open-hearted yet anchored. A lighthouse, not a sponge. Signs of weak energetic boundaries. When energetic boundaries are weak or undefined, you might experience chronic fatigue influence, mood swings influenced by others' emotions, when you difficulty saying no or feeling when you do, over-identification with others' problems, anxiety or overwhelm in crowded spaces, loss of focus or clarity after emotionally charged conversations. These are not personality flaws. They are energetic feedback. Your system is signaling that it's time to strengthen your field, to bring awareness and intention to how you manage interaction. The power of centering. The foundation of strong boundaries is centering. The practice of returning to your own energetic core. When you are centered, you occupy your energy fully. You are not leaning into someone else's emotional field or scattered across multiple worries. You are present, grounded, and aware. Centering can be as simple as pausing, closing your eyes, and breathing into your heart or solar plexus, the energetic center of personal power. Feel yourself drawing all scattered attention back into your body. As your awareness gathers inward, your field stabilizes. You reclaim the energy you have unconsciously dispersed. Practice centering before entering emotionally charged situations. It sets the tone for energetic sovereignty and reminds your system where home is. Visualization. Strengthening your energetic field. Visualization is one of the most effective tools for boundary reinforcement because energy follows attention. When you imagine your energy field as strong, radiant, and protective, your subconscious aligns with that vision. A simple exercise: 1. Sit or stand comfortably. 2. Breathe deeply, visualizing light expanding from your heart. 3. See this light forming a luminous sphere around your body, clear, strong, and vibrant. 4. Affirm silently, my energy is my own. I share love freely, but I remain centered in my power. This boundary isn't a wall but a filter. It allows compassion, joy, and wisdom to pass through while diffusing negativity and emotional noise. Practice it daily, especially before engaging with large groups, digital spaces, or emotionally demanding interactions. Emotional and relational boundaries. Energetic boundaries manifest physically through emotional and relational boundaries. The ability to say no, to honor your needs, and to engage authentically. Each time you betray your truth to please others, you weaken your energetic field. Each time you assert your truth with kindness, you reinforce it. Setting boundaries isn't about rejecting others, it's about respecting your own vibration. When you say, I need time for myself, you are not withdrawing love. You are maintaining the space that keeps your love genuine. Healthy boundaries actually deepen connection because they come from clarity, not resentment. You can give freely when giving doesn't deplete you. You can listen deeply when you are not absorbing what you hear. In environmental and digital boundaries, your environment constantly shapes your energy. Cluttered spaces, excessive noise, or digital overstimulation create energetic interference. Similarly, social media, though virtual, transmits emotional frequency. Spending hours scrolling through fear, outrage, or comparison subtly drains your field. Energetic hygiene requires environmental curation. Surround yourself with spaces, sounds, and symbols that uplift. Choose information and company that align with peace and authenticity. Periodically unplug, ground, and return to sensory simplicity, nature, stillness, or creative flow. Your energy is precious currency. Every time you give attention, you make an investment. Spend it consciously. Grounding. Anchoring energy to the earth. Grounding connects your energy body to the stabilizing field of the earth. It's one of the most powerful ways to strengthen boundaries because it establishes a lower energetic anchor. Like a tree rooted in soil, the deeper your grounding, the less likely you are to sway under external winds. Walk barefoot on natural ground. Visualize roots extending from your feet deep into the earth, drawing strength and stability upward. With each breath, imagine releasing tension and foreign energy down through those roots. The Earth's magnetic field harmonizes your own, restoring calm and clarity. Grounding transforms boundaries from mental concepts into embodied reality. You don't just imagine protection. You feel it through the solidity of your own being. Compassion without absorption. The more sensitive and compassionate you become, the more crucial boundaries become. Sensitivity is a gift. It allows you to sense subtle energies and empathize deeply. But without boundaries, sensitivity turns into overwhelm. Energetic maturity means realizing that you can love without losing yourself. Compassion is not about taking on someone's pain. It's about holding a stable frequency of understanding that helps them rise. Think of it like a calm lake. It reflects what's around it without becoming disturbed. When you remain centered in compassion, rather than pity or worry, you uplift others through your coherence, rather than joining them in their chaos. This is energetic leadership healing through presence, not effort. The art of detachment is often misunderstood as indifference. In truth, it is the highest form of love, loving freely without ownership or control. Detachment keeps energy flowing, attachment entangles it. When you practice detachment, you release the need to fix, convince, or carry others' emotions. You recognize each person as an autonomous energetic being with their own path. This frees both you and them. Detachment does not close the heart, it liberates it. It allows you to engage fully while maintaining equilibrium. You no longer absorb every emotion or projection because your sense of self is anchored within, not defined by others. Energy hygiene and renewal. Just as you cleanse your body, you must also cleanse your energy field. Over time, energy from interactions, thoughts, or environments can cling to your aura. Simple energetic hygiene practices include smudging or incense, using smoke from sage, Palo Santo, or incense to symbolically purify space and aura. Salt baths or showers. Salt absorbs dense energy. Visualize it washing away emotional residue. Sound cleansing, bells, singing bowls, or music recalibrate your field through vibration. The breath and intention. Exhaling fully while releasing all energy that doesn't belong to you. Energetic hygiene is self-respect in action. It tells your system, I value my energy enough to keep it clear. The empowered field. When your boundaries are strong and conscious, your energy becomes coherent, calm, radiant, and magnetic. You no longer need to defend yourself. Your vibration naturally repels discord. You move through life like a tuning fork, setting frequencies rather than absorbing them. From this state of sovereignty, you can love more deeply, serve more purely, and create more powerfully. You realize that protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's essential. Only a filled vessel can overflow. Only a strong field can uplift others. To master energy is to know where to open and where to seal, when to give and when to receive. It is to stand in the quiet power of your own light, unshaken by external storms. This is the essence of energetic boundaries, the art of living open yet protected, compassionate yet sovereign, luminous yet grounded. The power of presence. Energy mastery reaches its purest form through presence. Presence is not merely physical stillness or mental focus. It is energetic alignment with the now, a full embodiment of consciousness in the present moment. When you are truly present, your energy stops leaking into memories of the past or projections of the future. It gathers here, in the living pulse of this instant, where your true power resides. Presence is the birthplace of clarity, intuition, and flow. It is the quiet space between thoughts, the deep breath before action, the awareness that listens without judging. To master presence is to command your energy with grace, because energy follows attention, and attention anchored in the now becomes an unshakable force of creation. The fragmented mind and scattered energy. In the modern world, the mind is constantly fragmented, pulled between notifications, tasks, and endless streams of information. Each distraction divides your attention and with it, your energy. A scattered mind creates a scattered field. You feel tired not because you lack energy, but because your awareness is diffused across timelines and worries. Think of your energy as light. When diffused, it's soft but weak. When concentrated, it becomes a laser, capable of transforming matter. Presence is the art of concentration without tension. It gathers light into a single beam, effortlessly powerful. When you reclaim your attention from distraction, you reclaim your life force. Every moment of awareness is a moment of energy returning home. The now as a field of power. The present moment is not just a slice of time. It's a dimension of energy. Within the now, you are connected to the universal current, the intelligence that orchestrates all life. The mind may dwell in past and future, but your soul exists only here. This is why peace, joy, and creativity are always found in the present. They are natural states of consciousness, uncovered when the noise of time subsides. When you are truly present, energy flows freely. Your intuition sharpens, decisions become effortless, and synchronicities unfold. You are no longer pushing against life. You are moving with it. Presence dissolves resistance and reconnects you to the pulse of existence. You begin to understand that time is not an enemy to manage, but a canvas for creation. Every now moment is a brushstroke, and presence is the artist's hand. The awareness as energy anchor. Presence begins with awareness. Awareness is the silent observer behind thought, the witnessing consciousness that notices without reacting. Most people live trapped in thought loops, believing they are their thoughts. But when you observe thought without identification, a space opens. In that space, energy stabilizes. Awareness anchors you in being rather than in mental noise. Try this simple awareness practice. Pause. Take a slow, deep breath. Notice the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds around you. For a moment, drop the need to change anything. Just be. In that moment of pure observation, your energy stops scattering. You reconnect to the infinite current beneath the surface of doing. That current is life itself. The mind always asks, "What's next?" Presence replies, "This, just this." The energy follows attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. This principle is the foundation of energetic presence. If your attention is constantly dwelling on problems, regrets, or fears, you are feeding those frequencies with your life force. If your attention is rooted in gratitude, creativity, or peace, your energy harmonizes accordingly. Presence gives you the power to choose where your energy flows. You stop being a reactor and become a creator. You start responding consciously instead of compulsively. Every time you bring your attention back to the now, you withdraw energy from disempowering narratives and redirect it toward life, affirming creation. Over time, this rewires your energetic field. You stop living in mental tension and start living in energetic coherence. Presence and the body. The body is the doorway to presence. It always exists in the now, even when the mind does not. By anchoring awareness in the body, through breath, movement, or sensation, you invite your energy back from abstraction into embodiment. Notice the simple act of breathing. Each inhale is a return to yourself. Each exhale is a release of what is not needed. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the rhythm of your heartbeat. These sensations tether you to the living moment. When you inhabit your body fully, your energy field becomes dense with life, solid, radiant, and calm. You begin to radiate grounded presence, and others feel it without words. Presence is not something you do, it's something you allow through embodiment. A silence. The portal to power. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of space. Within silence, energy recalibrates. The constant chatter of the mind disperses energy, silence gathers it. That's why moments of stillness feel so nourishing. They're energetic restoration at the soul level. In silence, intuition becomes audible. The voice of inner guidance is subtle, easily drowned by noise. but in still presence it speaks clearly. This voice doesn't shout. It whispers truth through feeling and knowing. It guides without force. Make silence a daily ritual. Whether through meditation, mindful walking, or simply sitting in quiet awareness, silence reconnects you to the frequency of being. It reminds you that your true power doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being more aware. Presence and emotional alchemy. Presence is also the most powerful form of emotional transformation. When an emotion arises, fear, anger, grief, the mind wants to resist or escape it. But resistance traps energy, awareness frees it. When you bring presence to an emotion, you dissolve its charge. The energy behind the feeling integrates back into flow. To sit with emotion without judgment is energetic mastery. You are no longer fighting your inner weather. You are watching the storm pass through the sky of awareness. Eventually, the sky remains clear and vast. This is why healing happens in presence, not in analysis. The present moment holds the frequency of wholeness. When you return to it fully, what was fragmented naturally reorders itself. Presence heals not because it fixes, but because it integrates. The expansion of presence. When presence deepens, it transforms into flow, the state where time disappears and action feels effortless. Athletes, artists, and spiritual masters all describe this experience, a sense of being moved by something greater, as if the universe itself acts through them. Flow is not accidental, it is cultivated through presence. When you are so immersed in the now that self-consciousness dissolves, energy channels perfectly through you. Your movements, words, and decisions synchronize with life's rhythm. In flow, you are not separate from what you're doing. You become it. The dancer becomes the dance. The writer becomes the story. The healer becomes the healing. This is energetic unity, the highest expression of mastery. Presence in relationships. True connection only happens in presence. You cannot truly listen if your mind is elsewhere. You cannot truly see another if you are busy interpreting them through your past. When you are fully present with someone, your energy field merges within coherence. You create a sacred space where healing, trust, and understanding arise naturally. Presence turns communication into communion. Your silence becomes as powerful as your words. Your attention becomes nourishment. People can feel when you are truly there, not judging, not fixing, just witnessing. That kind of presence is healing in itself. In a world starved for attention, presence is love. The magnetic power of still awareness. Presence is magnetic. When you embody it, others are drawn to your calm, your clarity, your steadiness. You become an anchor in a sea of distraction. Your energy no longer chases, it attracts. This is the paradox of presence. By doing nothing, you influence everything. The calm field you hold subtly harmonizes those around you. Your energy becomes medicine, not because you're trying to heal, but because coherence naturally organizes chaos. The most powerful people are not those who speak the loudest, but those whose presence shifts the room. Practicing presence daily. Presence is not reserved for meditation halls. It is practiced in ordinary life. Every activity can become sacred when done consciously. When you drink water, feel the coolness and gratitude in the act. When you walk, notice the sensation of each step. When you speak, listen as deeply as you express. When you pause, breathe before reacting. Each moment is an invitation to return. The more often you do, the stronger your energetic alignment becomes. Presence doesn't remove you from life. It immerses you more deeply in it. It turns mundane acts into portals of awareness and transforms time into timelessness. The essence of presence. At its heart, presence is the meeting point of energy and eternity. It is where the personal dissolves into the universal, where effort gives way to grace, When you are present, you are not separate from life. You are life, aware of itself. You realize that energy, mastery isn't about control. It's about surrendering to the intelligence that animates everything. Presence reveals that the power you've been searching for has always been here. Beneath thoughts, behind striving, inside the quiet stillness of now. And in that realization, energy becomes infinite. Vibration and frequency. At the core of energy mastery lies one fundamental truth: everything is vibration. All matter, emotion, and thought, every form in existence, is energy oscillating at different rates of frequency. From the densest stone to the subtlest idea, from a heartbeat to a symphony, everything vibrates. The universe is a grand orchestra of frequencies, and you are both an instrument and a musician within it. To master energy, you must learn to tune your vibration consciously, to align your personal frequency with the higher harmonics of love, clarity, and purpose. When your vibration rises, your reality transforms, because the frequency you emit determines the experiences you attract. Like attracts like, not by magic, but by resonance. Energy mastery through vibration is not about escape or denial of lower states. It's about understanding the language of frequency and learning to navigate it with awareness. The science of vibration, modern physics confirms what ancient mystics intuited: everything that exists is a pattern of energy in motion. The atom, once thought solid, is mostly empty space, energy spinning at incredible speed. Even your body, seemingly physical, is a dynamic field of vibrating particles. Your emotions, too, are vibrations. Joy, love, and gratitude vibrate at higher frequencies. Fear, anger, and shame resonate at lower ones. These vibrations are not moral judgments. They are energetic states. When you are aligned with higher frequencies, energy flows smoothly, effortlessly. When you dwell in lower vibrations, energy stagnates or contracts. To raise your frequency is to raise your state of being, to refine your inner vibration so it harmonizes with the natural rhythm of life. Then energy and resonance is the principle by which vibrations influence each other. When two frequencies meet, the lower tends to rise and the higher stabilizes. This is why spending time with positive people uplifts you, and why music, nature, or meditation can instantly shift your mood. They recalibrate your field through resonance. You are constantly broadcasting and receiving frequencies through your thoughts, words, and emotions. Every word you speak carries a vibration. Every intention sends a wave into the field around you. The universe responds not to what you say you want, but to the frequency you are. This is the heart of vibrational alignment. You don't attract what you desire. You attract what you are in resonance with. The emotional spectrum as a vibrational map. Emotions are your internal tuning system. They tell you what frequency you're currently resonating with. While gratitude, joy, and love indicate coherence with higher vibrations, anger, fear, and guilt suggest energetic constriction or misalignment. Again, this isn't about labeling emotions as good or bad. It's about awareness. You cannot shift what you do not recognize. When you feel low, the goal isn't to suppress it, but to observe, accept, and lift, to move through the vibration consciously until it transforms. Each emotion carries valuable data about your energy state. When used wisely, it becomes a guide rather than a trap. The rising your frequency, rising vibration, is both a science and an art. It begins with awareness, and it's sustained through consistent alignment of thought, emotion, and action. Here are core practices that elevate frequency. 1. Breath and movement. Breath is vibration, the rhythm of life entering and leaving your body. Conscious breathing amplifies energy flow, oxygenates the system, and clears stagnant frequency. Movement, whether yoga, dance, or walking, frees trapped energy and restores flow. The body is an antenna, When you move consciously, you retune it. 2. Gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude instantly raises vibration because it shifts focus from lack to abundance. It tells the universe, I recognize the good. Therefore, I align with more of it. Each time you appreciate, your frequency harmonizes with prosperity and peace. Gratitude is not energetic magnetism. 3. Sound and music. Sound is vibration in its purest form. Certain tones, chants, or frequencies can recalibrate your field. Listening to high vibration music, singing, or even humming aligns your energy with rhythm and harmony. Ancient cultures under this deeply, mantra drumming, and song were tools of vibrational healing. 4. Thought and language. Words carry frequency. Every sentence you speak is an energy transmission. Negative self-talk lowers vibration. Words of truth and kindness elevate it. Speak with intention. Your language becomes the tuning fork of your life. 5. Nature and stillness. Nature vibrates at the frequency of balance. Its patterns, wind, waves, birdsong, are coherent with the Earth's natural rhythm, the Schumann resonance. Spending time in nature restores harmony because your body recognizes that vibration as home. The law of frequency matching. Energy fields interact through the law of frequency matching. High vibration attracts high vibration, and low attracts low. When your vibration rises, old patterns, people, or situations that no longer match will naturally fall away. This can feel like loss, but it's simply energetic sorting. The universe reorganizes around your new state of being. You don't need to chase new outcomes. Shift your vibration, and the outer world reconfigures to meet it. This is the subtle art of vibrational causality, creating from the inside out. Vibrational coherence and integrity. Raising vibration isn't about forced positivity or spiritual bypassing. Authentic vibration is coherent. It includes truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable. If you pretend to be joyful while suppressing pain, your frequency becomes fragmented. Integrity means alignment. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions resonate as one. That resonance is coherence. And coherence is power. A coherent person doesn't need to shout or prove. They emanate clarity. Their energy speaks before they do. This is why spiritual masters appear radiant and calm. Their vibration is steady, consistent, whole. They have refined their inner frequency until it harmonizes with universal intelligence. The body as a vibrational instrument. Your body is not separate from vibration. It is vibration. Each cell emits an electromagnetic frequency. The heart, especially, radiates a measurable energy field several feet beyond the body. When you feel love or gratitude, your heart's rhythm becomes smooth and harmonious, a state known as heart coherence. Heart coherence synchronizes brain waves, balances hormones, and restores vitality. This is not metaphoric, it's measurable. Your emotions literally tune your biology. By breathing through your heart and focusing on elevated feelings, you become a vibrational transmitter of healing energy. Not just for yourself, but for those around you. The subtle power of thought frequency. Thoughts are frequencies that form energetic patterns. Repetitive thoughts create stable vibrations that shape your emotional reality. If you constantly think from fear or scarcity, your vibration densifies. If you cultivate faith, openness, and creativity, your vibration lightens. This is why mindfulness and meditation are vital. They help you observe and redirect thought patterns before they calcify into low-frequency habits. You don't need to control every thought. You only need to choose which thoughts you energize. The vibration of thought becomes emotion. Emotion becomes behavior. And behavior shapes experience. Changing frequency at the thought level transforms everything downstream. For the collective field, just as individuals have vibrations, so do groups, nations, and the planet itself. Collective energy influences personal energy. When you contribute peace, forgiveness, or love, you raise not only your vibration, but the collective frequency of humanity. This is why inner work is world work. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, or gratitude over fear, you subtly shift the planetary field. Vibrations ripple outward. Your coherence contributes to global harmony. Never underestimate your frequency's reach. A single coherent mind is more powerful than 1,000 scattered ones. Presence radiates exponentially. If you lower vibrations as teachers, energy mastery isn't about avoiding low vibrations, it's about understanding their purpose. Fear teaches safety and discernment. Sadness invites reflection. Anger reveals boundaries. When integrated consciously, lower vibrations become gateways to higher ones. Every dense emotion is compressed light waiting to be released. When you meet it with awareness, the vibration naturally rises. Nothing is wasted in the energetic economy of the soul. Even darkness, when embraced, becomes part of the symphony of awakening. Living as a vibrational being, to live vibrationally is to live consciously. You begin to sense the subtleties of energy in food, music, environments, and people. You make choices not from habit, but from resonance. You start to ask, does this raise or lower my frequency? This awareness becomes effortless over time. You can feel when energy is heavy and when it's light, when someone's words resonate with truth or dissonance. You stop chasing intensity and begin valuing harmony. Vibrational living is about alignment, not perfection. You oscillate, as all energy does, but awareness lets you return to your natural frequency more quickly each time. The frequency of love is the highest sustaining vibration in the universe. Not sentimental love, but the vast, intelligent love that holds galaxies in balance. Love is coherence. It harmonizes chaos, heals fragmentation, and restores unity. When you align with love, every other vibration naturally harmonizes around it. Love is not a feeling you chase, it's a frequency you allow. It is the natural resonance of your being when fear and separation dissolve. In moments of deep love, toward yourself, another, or life itself, you are vibrating in perfect rhythm with the cosmos. You are energy realizing itself as light. The essence of vibrational mastery. Vibrational mastery is not achieved by effort. It unfolds through awareness. The more you listen to your energy, the more you learn to fine-tune it, just as a musician tunes an instrument by ear. You begin to sense the difference between resonance and resistance, between harmony and dissonance. You stop fighting to change the world outside and instead refine the vibration within. Because when your frequency rises, reality reflects it effortlessly. You realize that your life is a mirror of your vibration. And as your vibration ascends, you discover the simplest truth of all. You are not a being trying to raise your frequency. You are frequency itself, remembering how to sing in tune with creation. Energy and intention is raw power. Intention is direction. Together, they form the twin engines of creation. Energy without intention is like lightning, brilliant but unfocused. Intention without energy is like a map with no vehicle. But when energy and intention unite, they become a force of manifestation, transforming invisible possibility into visible reality. To master energy, you must learn to marry the flow of power with the precision of purpose. Every thought, word, and action carries an energetic imprint. And intention gives that energy shape. It tells the universe what you are creating and why. When your intention is clear and aligned with truth, the energy you emit becomes coherent, focused like a laser beam, capable of altering the very fabric of your reality. The nature of intention is not mere wishing or hoping. It is conscious command, a deliberate alignment of will, emotion, and belief toward a chosen outcome. True intention doesn't beg, it declares. It doesn't strain, it directs. It is the energetic signature of clarity. When you set an intention, you are programming your energy field with specific information. You are saying, "This is the frequency I choose to embody." The universe, being vibrationally responsive, mirrors that choice back to you through synchronicity, opportunity, and guidance. Intention is the bridge between energy and form. It is how consciousness shapes reality. Without intention, energy disperses randomly. With it, energy organizes itself into meaningful patterns. The power of clarity. The strength of an intention lies in its clarity. Unclear intention creates scattered results. You cannot manifest peace while fueling chaos in thought, nor can you summon abundance while vibrating with fear of lack. The universe responds to energy, not words. Clarity begins with inner alignment. Before you declare what you want, understand why you want it. If your intention arises from ego or insecurity, the energy behind it will be fragmented. But when your intention arises from truth, when it serves both your growth and the greater good, it gains magnetic coherence. Ask yourself, is my intention rooted in love or fear? Does it align with my highest values? Does it expand energy or contract it? When intention is clear, the path opens. When it is confused, even infinite energy cannot move it forward. Energy follows intention, just as water flows downhill. Energy follows the path carved by intention. The moment you set a clear intention, you give energy a trajectory. You become a conscious conductor of life force rather than a passive receiver of circumstances. This is why rituals, prayer, and focused visualization are so powerful. They organize energy through the precision of intention. Whether you're charging water with gratitude, meditating on a goal, or speaking an affirmation aloud, you are shaping the energetic blueprint from which reality unfolds. The ancient masters understood this well. Every sacred act, from lighting a candle to chanting a mantra, was a declaration of intention. The energy behind the act was amplified by focus, faith, and feeling. Intention as frequency command. Intention operates through frequency command. You broadcast a vibrational pattern that organizes energy around it. When your intention is infused with strong emotion and unwavering belief, it becomes a powerful transmission to the universe. The key is emotional alignment. Words alone carry weak frequency if the heart contradicts them. You cannot declare, "I am abundant," while feeling fear. The vibration of fear overrides the phrase. Intention must be embodied, not just spoken. This is why visualization and feeling are essential. They imprint the vibration of the desired outcome into your energy field. The mind imagines it. The heart feels it. The energy field becomes it. Once the vibration is stable, physical reality adjusts to match it. In short, you don't create by effort. You create by energetic coherence. The role of belief acts as the amplifier or limiter of intention. Intention sets direction. Belief sets the ceiling. If you intend for expansion, but secretly believe it's impossible, your energy will conflict, producing mixed results. Beliefs are subconscious frequencies stored in your energetic field. They determine how much life force can move through you. Expanding belief is therefore part of mastering intention. You must open the energetic pathways that allow higher frequencies to flow unobstructed. When belief and intention align, manifestation accelerates. You no longer need to force outcomes. Energy flows naturally because there is no inner contradiction. The triad thought, emotion, and action. Intention becomes powerful when thought, emotion, and action vibrate in harmony. A thought defines the vision, while emotion energizes it. Action grounds it into reality. Without thought, intention lacks clarity. Without emotion, it lacks magnetism. Without action, it lacks embodiment. Each element feeds the others in a feedback loop of creation. For example, when you visualize a desired outcome, Feel genuine gratitude as if it has already occurred, and take aligned steps toward it. You are aligning all three frequencies. The result is coherence, the most potent state for manifestation. This triad reflects how energy becomes form, idea, feeling, expression, reality. The heart as the center of intention. The most powerful intentions emerge not from the mind, but from the heart. The heart's electromagnetic field is far stronger than the brain's. It is the true command center of your energetic system. When intention is born in the heart, it carries purity and power. It is not about controlling life, but collaborating with it. You stop asking, "How can I make this happen?" and start feeling, "How can I align with what wants to happen through me?" A heart-based intention moves in harmony with universal intelligence. It doesn't struggle or chase, it flows. That is why intentions rooted in love manifest more effortlessly than those rooted in fear. The universe expands love because it is love. Intention and surrender may seem opposites, but they are complementary. Intention sets the course. Surrender allows the current to carry you there. Without surrender, intention becomes rigid and anxious. Without intention, surrender becomes drift. To master both is to live in dynamic balance. You declare your purpose clearly, then release attachment to how or when it unfolds. You trust the intelligence energy to orchestrate the details. Surrender is not giving up. It is letting go of control and allowing alignment. It says, "This or something even better." When intention and surrender merge, you become an open channel for creation. You move from pushing energy to partnering with it. The power of collective intention. When multiple minds and hearts unite around a shared purpose, their energy fields synchronize into collective coherence. This is why group meditations, prayers, or shared rituals can generate measurable shifts in energy, reducing violence, increasing harmony, even altering local electromagnetic fields. Collective intention magnifies energy exponentially because it aligns multiple frequencies into one wave. A single heart radiating love has power. 1,000 hearts radiating the same intention create an energetic field that can transform entire environments. Energy mastery, therefore, is not only personal, it is planetary. Your intention contributes to the collective frequency of humanity. Energetic integrity. Furniture requires energetic integrity, honesty about what truly motivates you. Ask yourself often, is my intention driven by love or by fear? By expansion or by validation? When you act from integrity, your energy flows unobstructed. When you act from ego, it distorts. Energetic integrity is the invisible foundation of authentic power. It ensures that the energy you project into the world uplifts rather than manipulates, heals rather than harms. Intention weeded without integrity is unstable. It may manifest short-term results, but will ultimately collapse under energetic imbalance. Only intentions aligned with truth endure. To live intentionally is to live consciously. It means no longer drifting through life on automatic patterns but guiding your energy with awareness. Every morning, you can choose your vibrational direction by asking, what energy do I wish to embody today? When you begin your day with deliberate intention, peace, clarity, compassion, courage, you set your energetic compass. The universe responds accordingly. Life stops happening to you and begins happening through you. Living intentionally turns ordinary moments into sacred acts. Eating becomes gratitude, walking becomes meditation, conversation becomes connection. Intention infuses energy with meaning, and meaning magnifies energy. The essence of energetic intention. Energy without intention is scattered. Intention without energy is hollow. But when the two merge in awareness, creation becomes effortless. You move through life as a conscious artist, painting with the colors of vibration and purpose. You realize that intention is not about forcing reality. It's about aligning with the current of consciousness that already knows where to flow. You are not imposing your will upon the universe. You are harmonizing your will with it. This is the deepest form of energy mastery. To direct energy not through control, but through clarity, integrity, and love. When your intention is clear and your energy coherent, the universe rearranges itself around your frequency. Life begins to mirror your inner alignment. You stop chasing outcomes because you are the vibration that creates them. And in that awareness, you step into the quiet, radiant power of a true master, one who no longer seeks to shape energy, but becomes its conscious expression. Energy flow and resistance moves in flow. Rivers flow toward the ocean. Winds flow across the sky. Breath flows through your body. Energy, by its nature, is meant to move. It is the unbroken rhythm of life pulsing through all things. When you are in alignment with that natural movement, life feels effortless. Ideas arise easily, emotions pass through gracefully, synchronicities appear, and vitality seems endless. You are in flow. But when you resist, through tension, fear, control, or denial, the current constricts. Energy becomes trapped, emotions stagnate, the body tightens, and life begins to feel heavy. Resistance is not an enemy. It is a signal that you've stepped out of alignment with the natural flow of energy. Understanding energy flow and resistance is the difference between pushing through life and dancing with it. The nature of flow is the state in which your personal energy moves in harmony with universal energy. It's the point where action feels effortless and aligned. You're not forcing outcomes. You're participating in their unfolding. In flow, your thoughts, emotions, and actions operate in coherence. There is no friction between what you want and what you're doing. You become a vessel for life's creative intelligence, rather than an obstacle to it. Flow is not something you create. It's something you allow. Like a river, energy doesn't need you to push it forward. It moves on its own when you remove the rocks of resistance. What resistance really is? Resistance is the energetic friction that arises when your inner vibration clashes with the natural rhythm of life. It appears as tension in the body, anxiety in the mind, or rigidity in behavior. At its root, resistance is fear of movement. It's the ego's attempt to control the unknown, to hold energy still so it feels safe. But energy cannot be controlled. It must flow. When you hold it, it turns against you in the form of stress, fatigue, or stagnation. Think of a dam blocking a river. The water behind it builds pressure. Eventually, that pressure must be released, sometimes gently, sometimes destructively. The same happens within you. Suppressed emotions, unexpressed truths, and unmet desires all create energetic dams that eventually demand release. Recognizing resistance can be subtle or loud. It can show up as procrastination or avoidance of what you know you must do, like emotional heaviness, irritation, or anxiety without clear cause, feeling drained or uninspired even after rest, a physical tightness in the chest, jaw, or gut, repetitive life patterns that keep you stuck. Whenever life feels like an uphill climb, resistance is present. But rather than fighting it, awareness invites transformation. You cannot release what you do not acknowledge. The energy dynamics of letting go. Releasing resistance is not about forcing yourself to relax. It's about trusting the flow enough to let go of control. When you stop fighting what is, your energy returns to motion. The river doesn't need effort to reach the ocean. It simply flows downhill. Likewise, life doesn't need you to push it forward. It needs you to stop holding it back. Letting go is not passivity, it's partnership. It means aligning your vibration with the truth of the moment rather than resisting it. It means saying, I trust life's intelligence more than my fear. Every act of surrender increases energy flow. Every act of control decreases it. For emotional resistance and flow, emotions are energy in motion. Motions. When you resist feeling them, they solidify into blocks. When you allow them to move through without judgment, they release and restore flow. Crying, shaking, laughter, deep breathing, or creative expression, all are natural forms of emotional flow. They allow energy to complete its cycle. The key is presence. If sadness arises, don't label it. Feel it fully, breathe through it, let it move. The energy of sadness is simply water passing through your system. When felt consciously, it transforms into clarity. Resisting emotion is like holding your breath. Allowing emotion is exhaling fully. Both take energy, but only one restores it. You flow in the body, your body is the vessel of flow. Every system, blood, lymph, breath, and nerve, is designed for continuous movement. When energy becomes blocked, the body speaks through tension or pain. Movement restores flow. Stretching, dancing, shaking, or simply breathing deeply can dissolve stagnation. The body is an instrument that plays energy through motion. Stillness also supports flow, not through inaction, but through presence. When you sit quietly and breathe consciously, you create space for energy to reorganize. Flow is not always movement. It can be the silent pulse beneath stillness. The mind's role in resistance. Most resistance originates in the mind's attachment. Its need for certainty, control, or perfection. The mind resists the unknown because it cannot calculate it. Yet the unknown is where energy moves most freely. When you cling to how something should be, you resist how it is. This mental resistance traps energy in conflict between reality and expectation. The antidote is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means aligning with the truth of now. Once you accept what is, energy is freed to move toward what can be. Resistance says, it shouldn't be this way. Flow says, it is this way. And from here, I move. The flow state in peak performance psychology. Flow is described as a state of total immersion, where time disappears, focus sharpens, and creativity unfolds effortlessly. But beyond productivity, this state is deeply spiritual. It is the moment when you and energy become one. In flow, the ego relaxes. You stop overthinking and start being. Energy guides your actions intuitively. Words, art, or solutions appear as if they come through you rather than from you. This is the same principle behind meditation, music, or athletic mastery, the merging of personal will with universal movement. You cannot force flow. You can only enter it by releasing resistance and trusting the current. The resistance as a teacher. Resistance is not a mistake. It's a messenger. Every time you encounter resistance, it reveals where your energy is out of harmony. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing if I let go? What truth am I avoiding? Or what belief is creating this blockage? The answers are doorways to liberation. Often, resistance is guarding a wound or outdated identity. When you meet it with compassion, it dissolves and energy begins to move again. Thus, resistance becomes an ally. It shows you where freedom wants to enter. Energy flow in relationships. Flow applies not only to personal energy, but to connections with others. Relationships thrive when energy circulates freely through communication, empathy, and reciprocity. When one person gives without receiving or holds emotion back, energy stagnates. When both receive openly, energy flows in harmony. Healthy relationships are energetic ecosystems. Flow sustains them. Resistance suffocates them. Learning to speak truthfully, listen deeply, and forgive quickly are acts of energetic hygiene that restore relational flow. Trusting the flow of life. A highest form of energy mastery is trust. Trust that energy knows where to go. Trust that life's timing is intelligent. Trust that what leaves creates space for what arrives. When you trust the flow, even challenges become teachers. Obstacles aren't blockages, they're redirections. The river doesn't stop when it meets a rock, it simply finds a new path. Trust transforms resistance into movement. It turns fear into curiosity. It allows you to surf the waves of life instead of drowning in them. A practice is for restoring flow. To move from resistance to flow 1. Breathe consciously. Each deep breath reopens energy channels. 2. Move your body. Stretch, walk, dance, or shake to free trapped energy. 3. Feel your emotions. Let them rise and pass without judgment. 4. Write or speak your truth. Expression dissolves energetic tension. 5. Meditate on trust. Visualize energy moving through you freely. 6. Simplify your environment. Clutter blocks physical and mental flow. 7. Listen to intuition. Flow speaks through inner knowing. Every act of openness restores motion. Every act of trust amplifies vitality. The art of flow is the natural rhythm of the universe. The pulse that beats through galaxies and hearts alike. To live in flow is to align with that rhythm, to move as life moves. You stop chasing certainty and begin participating in unfolding. You realize that energy is never against you. It only seeks expression. When you resist, you dam it. When you allow, you become its channel. Flow turns living into art. Every breath becomes brushstroke, every moment a melody. You discover that peace isn't found in control, but in harmony. The master of energy is not one who commands it, but one who moves with it. The essence of flow. When you stop resisting life, you stop resisting yourself. Energy, once blocked, begins to move again, through your body, your relationships, your purpose. Flow is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of alignment. It is the state where you and the universe are no longer at odds, where every experience be part of the same current carrying you home. In flow, you realize that energy was never outside you. It was always you. And the moment you surrender to that truth, resistance dissolves, and life flows through you like a living prayer of movement, trust, and grace. Energy cycles and renewal. Everything in creation moves in cycles. The moon waxes and wanes. The tide rises and falls. Seasons turn from birth to decay to rebirth again. Even the breath, the most intimate rhythm of life, follows this eternal dance. Inhale, pause, exhale, rest. Energy is no different. It, too, moves in cyclical patterns of expansion and contraction, activity and rest, creation and renewal. When you understand and honor these natural cycles, you stop fighting the flow of life and begin to move with it. You conserve energy, deepen awareness, and restore balance. To master energy, you must not only learn to generate power, you must learn to renew it. The universal pulse. The universe is rhythmic. Every atom vibrates, spins. Every galaxy expands and contracts in waves of energy. This pulsation is the universal heartbeat, the rhythm of creation itself. In this grand design, nothing sustains constant output. Stars flare, burn, and then rest in darkness before rebirth. Nature never rushes, it exerts, then restores. This rhythm is not weakness. It is wisdom. It ensures endurance, balance, and harmony. Human beings are part of this same design, yet we often forget. We push, strive, and force, trying to maintain perpetual activity in a world that honors doing over being. The result is exhaustion, physical, emotional, and spiritual depletion, because we have forgotten how to honor the sacred pause. Energy mastery invites you back into rhythmic living. The rhythm of personal energy, your own energy, follows cyclical tides. Some days you feel vibrant, creative, and expansive. Energy is outward moving. Other days you feel inward, reflective, or quiet. Energy is drawing back for renewal. These shifts are natural. Yet most people resist them, labeling high energy as good and low energy as bad. But just as night is as essential as day, contraction is as necessary as expansion. Without rest, growth collapses. Without stillness, creativity cannot emerge. Each person has a unique rhythm of energy. Some work best in bursts, followed by deep rest. Others thrive in slow, steady flow. The key is awareness. To listen to your body and spirit and honor what they need in each phase. When you cooperate with your natural cycles, instead of opposing them, you move into energetic harmony. The 4 phases of energy. Across many wisdom traditions, energy flow is observed to follow 4 recurring phases, mirroring the seasons of nature and the cycles of life. 1. Inspiration, spring. The spark of new energy. This is the phase of awakening, where ideas bloom and creativity ignites. You feel motivated, curious, and alive. It's a time for exploration and new beginnings, planting seeds of intention. 2. Expression, summer. The expansion of energy here, energy peaks. You act on inspiration, bring visions to form, and engage with life dynamically. It's a period of productivity, growth, and outward movement. 3. Integrations, autumn. The refinement of energy as momentum slows, reflection deepens. You harvest the results of your effort, learn from experience, and begin to release what no longer serves. This is a phase of discernment and gratitude. 4. Restoration, winter. The renewal of energy. This is the sacred pause. Energy turns inward to replenish. Stillness becomes medicine. What looks like emptiness is actually preparation, the soil regenerating before the next bloom. When you honor these 4 phases, in your work, relationships, and personal growth, you align your energy with the cyclical intelligence of the universe. The cost of ignoring cycles. Modern life glorifies linear growth, always rising, always achieving, never stopping. But energy is not linear, it is spiral. Every upward expansion requires a return inward for integration and renewal. Ignoring this truth leads to burnout, disconnection, and illness. The body exhausts its reserves, creativity dulls, joy fades. When you refuse to rest, life forces rest upon you through fatigue, crisis, or emotional collapse. Rest is not laziness, it is alignment. Just as the moon withdraws into darkness before it shines again, you must allow yourself to pause in order to shine fully. Renewal is a sacred act. Renewal is not something you earn. It is something you allow. In moments of rest, your energy reorganizes. Cells regenerate. The nervous system resets. The mind clears, the soul rebalances. This is why sleep, meditation, silence, and solitude are sacred practices. They are portals of renewal. In stillness, you stop expending energy outward and begin to draw it back inward, like a wave retreating to gather strength for its next rise. Renewal is also emotional and spiritual. It happens when you release old stories, forgive yourself, and return to presence. It's a reset of the energetic field, clearing stagnant frequencies so new energy can flow freely again. Without renewal, energy becomes stale. With renewal, it becomes radiant. Listening to your inner seasons, just as the earth has seasons, so do you. There will be seasons of expansion, where opportunities bloom, and seasons of retreat, where nothing seems to move. But both are essential. The inward phases are not punishment or failure. They are gestation. What feels like stillness is often silent growth beneath the surface. Trust that. When you're tired, rest. Act. When you're grieving, allow release. When you're full, share. This is the natural wisdom of energy. The mastery is not in controlling your seasons, but in listening to them. Honoring the rhythm of your own energetic nature. Renewal through nature. Nature is the greatest teacher of energy renewal. Walk among trees and you'll feel it. The patience, the quiet regeneration. Sit by the sea and you'll sense the eternal rhythm of release and return. When you immerse yourself in nature, your body's energy synchronizes with the Earth's frequency. The mind quiets, the breath deepens, the heart recalibrates. This is not poetic imagery, it is physiological truth. Studies show that time in nature lowers stress hormones, balances brain waves, and restores vitality. You are, quite literally, recharging through resonance. Nature reminds you that renewal is not something you do. It's something that happens when you stop resisting. The spiral of growth, true growth is spiral, not straight. You revisit lessons at higher levels of understanding, cycle through challenges with deeper awareness, and refine your energy each time. Every contraction precedes an expansion. Every ending conceals a beginning. When you feel lost or stagnant, remember, you are not off track, you are in a lower arc of the spiral, preparing to rise again. This understanding brings peace. You stop forcing constant progress and begin trusting the sacred rhythm of evolution. View energy maintenance and self-renewal practices to live in balance with your energy cycles. 1. Honor rest as much as action. Schedule downtime intentionally. 2. Begin and end each day consciously. Morning sets the tone, night renews it. 3. Cleans your energy field regularly. Meditation, salt baths, or grounding help reset frequency. 4. Reflect and release. Journal what you've learned before moving forward. 5. Follow joy. What energizes you is aligned with your current cycle. 6. Listen to your body. Fatigue is feedback, not failure. 7. Simplify. The fewer distractions, the easier renewal becomes. These practices are not luxuries. They are maintenance of your energetic ecosystem. The rhythm of the soul. Physical and emotional cycles. There are deeper soul cycles. Periods of awakening followed by integration. Moments of expansion into the mystical, followed by grounding into the ordinary. These cycles refine the frequency of your consciousness. Each descent brings new wisdom, each ascent brings greater light. The soul's rhythm is eternal. It never ends, only transforms. When you trust your soul's timing, you stop comparing your path to others. You understand that every pause, every quiet chapter, serves a higher unfolding. Renewal as remembering at its essence. Renewal is not adding something new. It is remembering who you are beneath exhaustion, noise, and striving. It's returning to your natural frequency, the quiet radiance that never leaves you. When you rest deeply, meditate sincerely, or surrender fully, you touch that still point inside, the place where energy is pure potential. From there, all creation begins again. Renewal is not the end of a cycle. It is the rebirth of awareness. Living in rhythm energy mastery is not about maintaining constant motion. It is about living in rhythm, knowing when to act and when to allow, when to speak and when to listen, when to rise and when to rest. When you live in rhythm, exhaustion disappears, you become attuned to life's pulse. Work feels natural. Relationships flow. Creativity renews itself endlessly. You no longer fear endings, because you understand that endings are beginnings in disguise. You no longer resist rest, because you know it is preparation for greater movement. This is the wisdom of cycles, the promise of perpetual renewal. The essence of renewal. When you align with the rhythm of energy cycles, life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a dance. You move with time, not against it. You ride the wave instead of resisting the tide. Every breath, every season, every chapter becomes a sacred spiral of becoming. You no longer burn out. You bloom, retreat, restore, and rise again. This is not just energy management. It is energy artistry, living in harmony with the pulse of existence itself. And in that harmony, you discover that renewal is not something that happens once in a while. It is the very nature of your being. Energy of the heart. At the center of your being lies a radiant intelligence. The energy of the heart. It is not merely a physical organ, but an electromagnetic command center, pulsing with wisdom far beyond intellect. The heart is where energy becomes emotion, where vibration becomes meaning, and where humanity touches the divine. When we speak of heart energy, we are speaking of the purest current of life moving through us, the frequency of love, compassion, connection, and coherence. It is the rhythm of creation itself, expressed through the human form. To master energy is to awaken the heart, for it is the bridge between the finite and the infinite, between self and source. The heart as an energetic center. The heart is more than a muscle, it is a vibrational powerhouse. Modern science confirms what ancient mystics have long known, that the heart emits the strongest electromagnetic field in the human body. This field radiates several feet beyond your physical form, measurable by sensitive instruments. The rhythm of your heartbeat continuously sends energetic information to your brain, nervous system, and environment. When your heart is coherent, meaning your emotional state is harmonious, your entire physiology aligns. This coherence produces measurable changes: smoother brainwave patterns, balanced hormones, synchronized nervous activity, and improved immune response. Your body literally thrives when your heart energy is balanced. But beyond biology, this field also interacts with the world around you. Emotions broadcast vibration. Love and gratitude expand your field, fear and anger constrict it. Through your heart, you are constantly communicating energetically with others, even in silence. The heart is not only a receiver of energy, but a transmitter, an antenna of consciousness tuned to the frequency of unity. The frequency of love is not simply an emotion, it is a vibrational state. It is the highest and most coherent frequency known to human experience. Love harmonizes chaos, dissolves separation, and restores balance. When you feel genuine love, whether for a person, a song, a sunrise, or life itself, your heart's electromagnetic field becomes organized, rhythmic, and expansive. This frequency synchronizes your entire system and influences those around you. Love is coherence in motion. It doesn't belong to one person or one moment. It is a universal resonance available to all who open their hearts. When you live in the energy of love, you align with the creative intelligence that sustains galaxies. You become not just a participant in life's flow, you become its conscious expression. The heart-brain connection. The heart and brain are in constant communication. In fact, the heart sends more information to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. This feedback loop influences perception, intuition, and even cognition. When your heart rhythm is chaotic, driven by stress or fear, your brain's signals become fragmented. Thinking becomes rigid, intuition fades, and emotional resilience weakens. But when your heart rhythm is smooth and rhythmic, the state known as heart coherence, your brain enters a synchronized, optimal state. You think more clearly, respond more calmly, and feel more connected. In moments of deep coherence, the boundary between thought and feeling dissolves. You are both rational and intuitive, calm yet powerful. This is the state of energetic mastery through the heart. Emotional alchemy. The heart is the alchemist of emotion, transforming lower vibrations into higher states of consciousness. Anger becomes clarity when met with compassion. Fear becomes courage when embraced with understanding. This alchemy happens through awareness. The moment you bring presence into the heart, breathing into pain, acknowledging emotion without judgment, the energy begins to shift. The heart's natural frequency is harmony. Given space, it restores itself. You don't need to fight emotion to change it. You only need to feel it through the heart. The heart knows how to heal what the mind cannot. When emotional energy passes through the heart, It is purified into wisdom. The heart is the bridge between energies. In the energetic anatomy of the body, the heart is the bridge between the lower and higher centers, between the grounding energy of the body's instinct, will, survival, and the transcendent energy, intuition, vision, consciousness. When the heart is open, these energies unite harmoniously. Power becomes compassionate, intuition becomes embodied. Without the heart, energy becomes polarized. Intellect without empathy, or strength without sensitivity. Thus, the heart is the integrator. It teaches that true strength is gentle and true wisdom is kind. It harmonizes heaven and earth within you. Every great act of creation, healing, or leadership emerges from this balance. A heart-centered union of energy and awareness. But the practice of heart coherence is not a mystical ideal. It is a living practice. It can be cultivated through simple but profound exercises that synchronize body, mind, and spirit. Try this one. Breathe through the heart. Bring awareness to the center of your chest. Imagine breathing directly into and out of your heart space. 2. Slow the rhythm. Breathe evenly. About 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. This rhythm entrains your nervous system into harmony. 3. Activate a positive feeling. Recall something you deeply appreciate, a memory, person, place. Feel it vividly. Let gratitude or love fill your chest. 4. Radiate outward. Imagine your heart's field expanding like light, touching everyone and everything around you. Within a minute or two, you'll feel your energy change. Tension eases, thoughts quiet, presence deepens. You've entered heart coherence, an energetic state that restores balance and radiates peace. When practiced daily, heart coherence becomes your baseline frequency, a living aura of calm strength. The heart and the collective field. Your heart field contributes to the collective human energy field. When you live with an open heart, your coherence uplifts the vibration of those around you. This is not metaphor. Studies have shown that one person in sustained coherence can stabilize the emotional tone of a group. Heart energy is contagious because it is resonance-based. Imagine what happens when many hearts synchronize. Through meditation, prayer, music, or shared compassion. The collective field amplifies exponentially, creating measurable effects in the environment. When groups focus on peace or healing, their combined heart energy ripples outward, subtly influencing the collective consciousness of humanity. This is why every act of kindness matters. It contributes to the energetic fabric of the world. Your heart is not small. It is a transmitter of light, connected to pulse of all creation. Healing through the heart. The energy of the heart is inherently healing. It restores coherence to what has been fragmented. When you direct loving awareness toward pain, physical, emotional, or relational, you infuse it with the frequency of wholeness. Healing is not about fixing, it's about reconnecting. Love reconnects what fear has separated. When you bring your full presence to a wounded part of yourself, that presence becomes medicine. This is why forgiveness is so powerful. It dissolves energetic knots and frees trapped emotion. To forgive is not to condone, it is to release energy back to flow. Every healing, personal or collective, begins with a single act: opening the heart. The courage to stay open, to live from the heart, is an act of courage. It means staying open in a world that sometimes wounds. It means choosing empathy when it feels safer to close. But every time you open instead of shut down, you reclaim energy. A closed heart traps life force. An open heart circulates it. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the conduit of authentic power. Energy flows where love flows, and love flows where the heart is open. A living from the heart, to live from the heart, is to live in harmony with life itself. You begin to sense the subtle energy in every interaction. the vibration behind words, the intention beneath actions. You respond with awareness instead of reaction. You no longer seek control, because the heart doesn't control, it connects. You no longer seek validation, because the heart knows its worth. You no longer chase love, because you are love expressing itself. Every breath, every gesture, every thought becomes a transmission of energy, a silent offering of presence. Living from the heart is not about perfection. It's about alignment, moment to moment, returning to the frequency of compassion. At the essence of the heart's energy, at the deepest level, the heart is the meeting point of energy and eternity. It is where the universal pulse becomes personal. When your heart is open and coherent, you are aligned with the rhythm of creation, the pulse that moves through stars, oceans, and souls alike. The energy of the heart teaches one ultimate truth: that love is not something you find or lose. It is the vibration of your essence. To live from that essence is to live as light embodied, radiant, grounded, and free. In the end, energy mastery is heart mastery. For the heart is the source, the bridge, and the home of all energy. When you live from there, life flows effortlessly, and every heartbeat becomes a sacred echo of the universe saying, I am love, and I am infinite energy in motion, energy and presence. There is a stillness beneath all movement, a silent awareness behind every action, every word, every breath. This stillness is not emptiness, it is presence, the pure state of being through which all energy flows in harmony. Presence is the meeting point between consciousness and energy. It is the space where awareness infuses vibration with intelligence. Without presence, energy scatters. With presence, it aligns, focuses, and becomes creative power. Energy mastery is, at its core, the art of presence. To live so deeply in the moment that your energy becomes clear, steady, and luminous. The power of the present moment energy only exists in the now. The past is memory, energy stored as impressions. The future is potential, energy not yet formed. Only the present is living, vibrating reality. When your awareness drifts into past or future, your energy follows it, pulled by thought and emotion into timelines that don't exist here and now. This is why distraction drains vitality. Your life force leaks into mental noise. But when you anchor yourself in the present, feeling the body, observing the breath, hearing the subtle hum of life around you, energy returns home. The scattered fragments of your attention gather into a single radiant point, awareness itself. This is the alchemy of presence, converting dispersion into wholeness. A presence as an energetic state. Presence is not a mental concept. It is an energetic condition. When you are present, your energy field becomes coherent, grounded, and magnetic. Others feel calm in your company without knowing why. In presence, the nervous system settles, breath deepens, and thought slows into clarity. It is not passivity. It is alert stillness. Every sense sharpens. Every cell awakens. You become fully alive. This state is often mistaken for silence, but it is not absence of sound. It is the awareness within sound. It is not inaction. It is the intelligence behind all action. Presence doesn't eliminate movement, it harmonizes it. It's the invisible conductor of your inner symphony. To the energy of awareness, awareness itself carries energy. A subtle, luminous vibration. When you direct awareness towards something, you infuse it with life. That's why a plant grows better when you tend to it with care, or why people flourish when they are seen and appreciated. Where awareness goes, energy flows. Presence is awareness without agenda. Pure attention that nourishes whatever it touches. The greatest healers, teachers, and creators don't project force. They radiate presence. Their energy is so attuned to the now that it naturally balances and uplifts whatever enters their field. This kind of presence can't be faked. It arises when the mind quiets and the heart opens. It's the energy of authenticity, being wholly here, with nothing to hide and nothing to prove. The distraction trap. The modern world is designed to pull attention outward, toward screens, noise, speed, and endless comparison. Each distraction fractures presence and disperses energy. When your attention is fragmented across many things, your energy becomes diluted. You may be doing a lot, but accomplishing little of substance. Your mind may be busy, but your spirit feels tired. Presence is the antidote. It gathers your power back from the fragments of distraction and re-centers it in awareness. Every time you pause to breathe consciously, to feel your feet on the ground, to observe a thought without chasing it, you reclaim energy. Each act of awareness restores coherence to your inner field. Presence, then, is not something you find once. It is something you return to repeatedly until it becomes your natural state. The heart of stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the unmoved awareness within movement. In meditation, when you quiet the mind and simply observe, you begin to feel this still presence. A spacious, living silence beneath thoughts. It feels infinite yet intimate, vast yet deeply personal. This stillness is the foundation of energy mastery. From it arises clarity, intuition, and effortless action. It's like the calm eye of a storm. Everything moves around it, but it remains centered. When your energy rests in this still point, life no longer feels chaotic. You act without strain. You speak with precision. You create without depletion. Presence becomes your power source. The presence and the flow state presence is not only stillness, it's also the gateway to flow. Flow is the dynamic expression of presence. Full immersion in what you're doing, where thought and action merge. In flow, you are not self-conscious. You are consciousness itself. Time softens, intuition sharpens, and energy moves effortlessly through you. Athletes, artists, and mystics all touch this state. What they share is total attunement to the present. They're not trying, they're allowing. They're not pushing energy, they're channeling it. This is energy mastery in motion. Awareness dancing with creation. The energetic signature of presence. When someone is truly present, you feel it. The air seems clearer, time slows slightly, communication deepens. Their energy feels grounded, stable, luminous. Presence is magnetic because it resonates with truth. It doesn't impose, it invites. It doesn't demand attention. It holds it naturally. A room filled with scattered minds feels chaotic. A room with one deeply present person feels peaceful. That's the power of coherence. One stable frequency harmonizing the rest. When your energy becomes anchored in presence, you influence without effort. You lead without control. You heal without trauma. Presence is prayer. To be fully present is a sacred act. A prayer without words. When you give your full attention to a moment, you acknowledge its divinity. Washing dishes, listening to a friend, watching rain, each becomes a meditation when infused with awareness. Presence sanctifies the ordinary. It turns every task into a ceremony of consciousness. This is the hidden secret of energy mastery. You don't need exotic techniques to elevate your vibration. You only need to be here completely. The sacred is always in the now. Energy responds instantly to presence, because presence is the language of the soul. The discipline of returning presence doesn't mean your mind never wanders. It means you notice when it wanders and gently return. The practice is in the returning, again and again, without judgment. Each return strengthens awareness and trains energy to remain centered. In time, presence becomes your default frequency. The noise of thought still arises, but it no longer dominates. You live more from being than from doing. Presence is not an escape from life. it is deeper participation in it. It allows you to meet each moment directly, free from the distortions of fear or memory. The healing power of presence, pure presence heals. When you bring full attention to pain, physical or emotional, without resistance, you infuse it with awareness. That awareness begins to dissolve tension, just as sunlight melts frost. Often, healing requires nothing more than presence. To truly be with what is without trying to fix it. Presence allows energy to complete its natural cycle, to express, release, and reintegrate. Whether you're comforting another or soothing yourself, the most transformative gift is not advice or analysis. It is presence. It says, I see you. I am with you. You are safe here. That vibration of acceptance restores coherence to fragmented energy. The presence within action. True mastery not found in still meditation alone, but in carrying presence into action. Can you remain aware while speaking? Can you feel your breath while listening? Can you stay rooted in being while doing? When presence infuses action, energy flows through you cleanly. No resistance. No egoic interference. You become a conduit of creative intelligence. The greatest leaders, healers, and artists are those who move from this deep center of awareness. Their energy doesn't strive, it streams. To live as presence is to recognize yourself as the awareness through which life happens, not the roles or stories that appear within it. You stop identifying solely with the surface, the changing forms, and begin resting in the timeless witness beneath them. From this state, energy flows without friction. Life becomes graceful, not because it is easier, but because you are no longer split. You are unified. Awareness and energy as one. Presence is the completion of energy mastery, where doing dissolves into being, and being becomes effortless action. The essence presence is not learned. It is remembered. It is the natural state of your consciousness before it was scattered by time and thought. When you return to presence, you rediscover the source of all power, the living silence that breathes through everything. In presence, energy is not wasted, emotion is not suppressed, and action is not forced. In presence lies it was meant to. Vibrant, intelligent, and whole. To master energy is to master awareness. And awareness, when anchored in the heart of now, becomes pure presence. The luminous stillness that moves the universe. Energy and intuition. There is a knowing that transcends logic. A quiet voice that whispers before the mind begins to think. A subtle vibration felt more than heard. This is intuition, the language of energy translated through awareness. Where thought analyzes, intuition senses. Where intellect gathers data, intuition receives frequency. It is the intelligence of your energy field, communicating directly with consciousness, guiding you toward alignment, truth, and flow. To master energy is to awaken intuition, for intuition is energy's way of speaking. The nature of intuition is often described as a gut feeling or a hunch, but in truth, it is energetic perception. Every being constantly emits information through subtle fields of vibration. Your physical senses interpret visible frequencies, sight, sound, touch. But your intuitive senses perceive the invisible frequencies that underlie all things: emotion, intention, resonance. This is why intuition feels instant. It operates faster than thought. Energy is direct, it doesn't need translation. The heart and body sense truth long before the mind constructs reasoning around it. Intuition is not magic, it's energetic literacy. It's your ability to read the vibrational field of life. The science of subtle. Knowing modern research, though still catching up to ancient wisdom, reveals fascinating evidence for intuition. The heart and gut possess their own neural networks, sometimes called the heart-brain and the enteric brain. These systems process information independently from the head. The heart's electromagnetic field, measurable several feet beyond the body, is sensitive to environmental shifts, emotional or energetic, often before the brain registers them. Similarly, the gut reacts to unseen stimuli, signaling instinctive responses that later translate into feelings of knowing. This means intuition is not superstition. It is embodied energy intelligence. Your whole system is a sensor network tuned to frequencies of truth, harmony, and imbalance. Energy as information, every form, thought, and emotion carries energy, and energy carries information. When your own energy field is clear and coherent, you can receive and interpret this information accurately. But when your energy is clouded by stress, fear, or overthinking, intuition becomes distorted. You hear static instead of signal. To strengthen intuition, therefore, is not to add something new, but to quiet interference. The clearer your inner field, the more precise your guidance. Intuition is always speaking. The question is, are you tuned in enough to listen? The 3 channels of intuitive energy. 1. Body intuition, the instinctual channel. The body speaks through sensation. A tight chest might signal misalignment, a light, expansive feeling may indicate truth. When your energy meets something resonant, your body opens. When it meets dissonance, it contracts. This isn't anxiety, it's energetic feedback. 2. Heart intuition, the emotional channel. The heart perceives through empathy and resonance. It reads the emotional frequency of people, spaces, and choices. When your heart feels peaceful and warm, it recognizes harmony. When it feels dull or unsettled, something is off energetically. The heart doesn't use logic. It uses coherence. 3. Mind intuition, the subtle cognitive channel. True intuitive thought feels like sudden clarity, an insight arriving fully formed. It's not analysis, it's reception. These intuitive downloads occur when your higher mind is in sync with universal intelligence, when your energy is still enough to receive the transmission. When body, heart, and mind are aligned, intuition becomes crystal clear. You don't just guess, you know. Clearing the path for intuition. To perceive subtle energy, you must live in subtle awareness. The following practices refine the inner frequency through which intuition flows. 1. Grounding. Intuition requires a stable vessel. Regular grounding through breath, movement, or nature ensures your energy doesn't scatter into fantasy. A grounded body translates intuitive data into clear understanding. 2. Stillness. The intuitive voice is quiet. It doesn't compete with noise. Cultivate moments of stillness, meditation, slow breathing, or silent observation to attune your awareness to its wavelength. 3. Energetic cleansing. Release stagnant emotions, outdated beliefs, and absorbed energies from others. The cleaner your field, the more accurate your perception. 4. Trust and validation. Every time you follow an intuitive nudge and witness its truth, your confidence strengthens. The energy of trust expands the channel, doubt constricts it. 5. Heart coherence. As seen earlier, the heart is the central transmitter of intuition. When you live from compassion and gratitude, the signal of intuition becomes consistent and radiant. The vibration of truth carries a frequency, calm, stable, resonant. Falsehood carries agitation, tension, or fragmentation. You can feel this difference energetically if you pay attention. When something is true for you, your body feels open. Breath deepens. Muscles relax, your inner rhythm smooths. When something is false, even subtly, you'll feel contraction, a tightening, a dissonance. This is your intuitive compass. The body doesn't lie, the energy doesn't deceive. As you develop sensitivity, you learn to read these signals without needing external proof. Truth begins to vibrate unmistakably. The dance between intuition and logic. Intuition and intellect are not enemies, they are partners. Intuition perceives the field. Logic interprets and acts upon it. When balanced, they create wisdom in motion. The problem arises when logic tries to dominate, demanding certainty where intuition offers feeling. Intuition speaks softly through symbols, sensations, or impulses. Logic must learn to listen, not overrule. The key is integration. Let intuition inspire direction and logic organize execution. Let feeling choose the path and reason build the bridge. Energy mastery is harmony between the subtle and the structured. Knowing when to flow and when to form. Recognizing intuitive signals, intuitive messages can come as sudden clarity or inner knowing synchronicities, patterns repeating until noticed, dreams that carry symbolic guidance, goosebumps or bodily sensations, the instant comfort or unease without logical cause, a magnetic pull toward or away from a situation. The mind may doubt, but energy never lies. Pay attention to the first signal, the immediate vibration before thought intervenes. That's pure intuition. Everything after is analysis. Intuition and the quantum field. At the deepest level, intuition reflects your connection to the quantum field of consciousness, the unified energy field that underlies all existence. In this field, everything is interlinked beyond space and time. Information flows freely, not linearly. When your consciousness aligns with this field, through love, stillness, and coherence, you can access knowledge beyond physical perception. This is why intuition often feels like remembering rather than discovering. It's as if your higher self already knows, and your awareness simply catches up. Intuition is your soul's Wi-Fi. Direct connection to universal intelligence. Obstacles to intuitive clarity. 1. Fear and overthinking. These tighten energy, blocking subtle perception. Fear creates noise that drowns intuitive whisper. 2. Emotional overload. Strong emotions cloud the signal. Calm awareness is the clearest receiver. 3. Attachment to outcome. When you want something too much, you distort intuition to justify desire. True intuition is neutral. It simply shows what is for. Energetic contamination. Absorbing others' emotions or projections can blur your own intuitive field. Regular energetic hygiene keeps your signal pure. The solution is simplicity, quiet mind, open heart, grounded presence. Living intuitively means navigating life by resonance rather than fear. You make choices not because they make sense, but because they feel aligned. You trust timing, surrender to flow, and allow energy to guide your steps. This doesn't mean abandoning logic. It means infusing logic with light. You still plan, act, and discern. But your compass is inner frequency, not external approval. Life becomes smoother, not because it's predictable, but because it unfolds in harmony with your true vibration. You find yourself in the right place, at the right time, meeting the right people. Not through effort, but through energetic alignment. Intuition as divine dialogue. Intuition is the whisper of the divine within you. It is how consciousness guides its own evolution. How the universe speaks through your energy. When you trust intuition, you are trusting the wisdom of life itself. Each time you follow that inner pull, you strengthen your bond with Source. The more you listen, the louder it becomes. Until intuition and identity merge, you no longer receive guidance. You live as guidance. Your energy becomes the voice of universal intelligence, expressed uniquely through you. The essence of intuitive energy. Intuition is not fortune-telling, it is frequency reading. It is the subtle art of feeling the energy before it becomes form. When your field is clear, heart open, and awareness centered, you sense what life is asking of you. You stop forcing outcomes and begin dancing with flow. Intuition is not about predicting the future. It's about harmonizing with it. You move in rhythm with energy rather than against it. This is the highest mastery. To listen so deeply that your next step is always illuminated from within. When energy and intuition unite, you no longer chase answers. You embody knowing. Your every action becomes aligned, your every silence wise, and your every moment a dialogue with the living intelligence of the universe. That is energy mastery through intuition, the art of feeling truth before it speaks. Energy and creativity. Creativity is the soul in motion. It is energy taking form, thought turning into color, vibration becoming movement, inspiration solidifying into matter. Every creative act, whether painting a canvas, designing a project, raising a child, or healing a wound, is an act of energy transformation. You take something invisible, an idea, an emotion, a frequency, and translate it into the visible world. When you understand energy, you understand creativity. When you master energy, you master creation itself. The nature of creative energy is the original force of existence. The universe itself began as pure creative impulse, the expansion of consciousness into diversity. Every star cell and heartbeat carries the echo of that first creative explosion. Human beings are microcosms of that same universal power. Within you flows the same energy that births galaxies, the life force that desires to express, evolve, and expand. Creativity, then, is not limited to artists. It is the essence of being alive. When you speak truth, you create vibration. When you solve a problem, you shape reality. When you love, you generate new worlds of feeling. To live creatively is to allow energy to move through you without resistance. Fu energy flow. Energy is meant to flow. When it becomes stagnant, you feel blocked, uninspired, dull, or restless. These are not signs of a lack of talent. They are signs of energetic congestion. Creativity doesn't disappear. It gets trapped behind fear, perfectionism, or overthinking. The key to creative mastery is not forcing inspiration, but clearing the channels through which energy moves. Think of yourself as an instrument. Creativity is the music. The purer your energy field, the clearer the melody that flows through you. When you release expectation, judgment, and self-doubt, the creative current rushes in naturally, filling you with vitality, curiosity, and courage. The energetic states of creation. Every creative process follows a pattern of energetic movement, like the tides of the ocean. Understanding these states helps you work with your energy rather than against it. 1. Inspiration. The inflow of energy. This is the receptive phase. Ideas, images, and sensations arise from the unseen. It feels like being struck by light, a sudden spark that electrifies your being. Inspiration cannot be forced. It is received when your energy is open and present. 2. Incubation. The internal flow here, energy gathers and refines itself. You may feel introspective, dreamy, or uncertain. This is not stagnation, it's gestation. Like a seed beneath soil, your idea is taking root in silence. 3. Expression. The outflow of energy. Energy now seeks form. Words, movements, sounds, or solutions emerge almost effortlessly. When you align fully, you enter creative flow. Timeless self dissolves and only creation exists. 4. Integration. The return to stillness after expression. The energy settles. Rest, reflection, and replenishment follow. Many creative beings forget this stage, leading to burnout. True mastery honors both activity and recovery as sacred parts of the energetic rhythm, and creativity as frequency. Every act of creation carries a frequency. Void creates beauty. Love creates harmony. The energy you bring to a creation is more powerful than the creation itself. A poem written in peace vibrates differently than one written in despair. Even an ordinary gesture, cooking, speaking, or touching, carries energetic resonance. When you create from alignment, Your work transmits coherence. It uplifts others not through effort, but through frequency. This is why true art, in any form, feels alive. It is imbued with energetic truth. The blocks to creative energy. Most creative blocks are energetic, not intellectual. Here are the common patterns that disrupt flow. 1. Fear of judgment. Fear tightens energy. The need for approval closes the heart, cutting off inspiration. 2. Perfectionism. The belief that creation must be flawless interrupts spontaneity. Energy thrives in movement, not control. 3. Comparison. Measuring your energy against frequency disconnects you from your own. 4. Overthinking. Logic has its place, but creativity is felt, not calculated. Too much thought chokes intuition. 5. Emotional suppression. When emotions are repressed, creative energy stagnates. Expression in any form, writing, movement, tears, unblocks the flow. Creativity demands vulnerability, the willingness to be seen in your raw, energetic truth. A reconnecting with the creative current. To reignite creative energy, return to your body, your breath, and your heart. A move energy dance, walk, breathe deeply. Movement breaks energetic rigidity. A reclaim play. Playfulness is pure creative frequency. When you stop taking creativity so seriously, you rediscover joy. A meditate on beauty. Observe nature, listen to music, watch light. Beauty recalibrates your vibration to inspiration. It express freely. Draw, sing, write nonsense. Not for outcome, but for release. Energy moves when expression is unfiltered. Honor silence. Creativity needs both noise and stillness. Rest between creations lets energy regenerate. The goal is not to make something great, but to become a vessel through which greatness moves. Creativity and the chakras. In energetic anatomy, creativity flows primarily through the sacral chakra, the energy center just below the navel, associated with emotion, pleasure, and movement. When this center is open, you feel inspired, expressive, and sensually alive. When blocked, you feel dry, uninspired, or creatively anxious. To activate this energy, engage in water-based movement, swimming, dancing, flowing, yoga. Practice emotional release. Surround yourself with color, sound, and texture that stimulate delight, that allow pleasure, not indulgence, but genuine enjoyment, to become a spiritual practice. Creativity flourishes when life itself feels pleasurable to inhabit. What the creative field. When you enter the flow of creation, your vibration synchronizes with the quantum field of possibility. This is the realm where all ideas, solutions, and forms already exist in potential. You are not inventing, you are remembering. Your consciousness becomes a bridge between the invisible and the visible. This is why great ideas often, rather than being thought up, you tune into a frequency, like a radio station, and the song begins to play through you. Energy mastery allows you to choose the station deliberately, to align with inspiration at will rather than waiting for luck or mood. Creativity as healing. Every act of creation is an act of healing. When energy is allowed to move freely, it clears stagnation, releases emotion, and restores coherence. To write a poem, sing, paint, or dance is to transmute pain into beauty. You take dense vibration, sorrow, confusion, anger, and elevate it into expression. This is alchemy. You transform lower frequencies into light. Creativity, therefore, is not self-indulgent. It is energetic medicine. The artist heals not only themselves, but everyone who resonates with their vibration. The infinite source. True creativity does not come from you. It comes through you. You are the channel, not the origin. When you let go of ego and open to source, energy flows effortlessly. The poet becomes the poem, the dancer the dance. There is no separation between creator and creation. This is the divine flow. The moment when time disappears, and all that remains is movement, color, rhythm, and light. Creativity is meditation in motion, a direct experience of unity with life. A living as a creative being. To live creatively is to live energetically awake. You don't wait for inspiration, you become it. Every conversation, challenge, and breath becomes a canvas for expression. Creativity is not something you do. It's the way energy moves through you when you are fully alive. Ask yourself each day, what wants to be created through me right now? Where is energy asking to move? It might be a word, a gesture, a solution, a song, or a silence. Whatever it is, honor it. That is the universe co-creating through your hands. The sacred responsibility of creators. When you realize that every creation sends energy into the collective field, you create with reverence. You infuse your work with intention, love, and integrity. Creation becomes prayer. Expression becomes offering. Through your energy, the world remembers beauty, harmony, and wholeness. The true creator is not one who seeks recognition, but one who channels life's energy into forms that uplift consciousness. And closing reflection, energy and creativity are not separate. They are the same current viewed through different eyes. Energy is potential. Creativity is that potential in motion. When you align with flow, you become a conduit for divine imagination. You don't force, you allow. You don't compete. You collaborate with life. And in that sacred collaboration, something extraordinary happens. Your energy becomes art, your life becomes a masterpiece, and creation itself recognizes you as one of its own. Sustainable energy mindset. There is a rhythm to all of life. An unseen pulse that flows through the oceans, seasons, and stars. When we live in harmony with this rhythm, energy replenishes itself. When we resist it, we exhaust ourselves trying to control what was never meant to be forced. Sustainability in energy begins when we understand this truth. That power is not born from pushing harder, but from aligning deeper. The illusion of endless output. The modern world glorifies speed. Productivity is mistaken for progress. Exhaustion is worn as a badge of honor. Many chase success by burning through their own life force, as if energy were an infinite currency. But energy, though abundant, must be respected. Like breath, it must flow in and out. A sustainable energy mindset replaces the cycle of overextension and collapse with a dance of balance and renewal. It recognizes that rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. True mastery is not in how much energy you can spend, but how consciously you can circulate it. The law of rhythmic flow. Everything in the universe moves in cycles. Expansion and contraction, inhalation and exhalation, light and shadow, action and stillness. Energy follows the same rhythm. There are moments meant for creation and moments meant for restoration. When we ignore these natural rhythms, working without pause, giving without receiving, acting without reflecting, we break the sacred balance of energy exchange. The result is burnout, fatigue, disconnection, and emotional numbness. Sustainability, then, is obedience to rhythm. It is the art of knowing when to flow and when to replenish. The ocean does not apologize for its tides. Neither should you. Awareness. The first pillar of sustained energy. We must first learn to feel its movement. Awareness is the foundation of all energy mastery. Throughout the day, notice when your body feels open and alive, your energy is high. When you feel tense, heavy, or cloudy, your energy is low or blocked. When you feel sharp but brittle, your energy is overextended. These sensations are not random, they are messages. Your energy field is constantly communicating with you, asking for alignment. Sustainable living begins when you listen. Energy as an ecosystem. Imagine your energy as a garden. It requires nourishment, sunlight, water, and rest between harvests. If you over-farm the soil, extracting more than you replenish, the land loses vitality. your inner world functions the same way. You cannot pour endlessly from an empty vessel. You must plant new seeds of joy, water them with stillness, and fertilize them with self-care. Sustainability means becoming a guardian of your inner ecosystem. You tend to your mind, emotions, and body with gentle attention, not because you are fragile, but because you are sacred. The myth of constant high energy. Many people believe that energy mastery means feeling powerful all the time. But energy, like nature, has seasons. There are days of full sun, creativity, movement, expansion. And there are days of moonlight, reflection, rest, introspection. Both are essential. The mindset of sustainable energy accepts ebb as gracefully as flow. It's not about having more energy, but about being in right relationship with whatever energy is present. When tired, you rest without guilt. When inspired, you act without hesitation. When uncertain, you wait without fear. This flexibility keeps energy stable and abundant. The cycle of renewal energy is regenerating when lived consciously. Every output, work, service, expression, creates an opportunity for input, rest, silence, inspiration. Here is a simple rhythm to embody sustainability. 1. Create direct energy outward into purpose or expression. 2. Celebrate, pause to appreciate what has been given or achieved. Gratitude stabilizes energy. 3. Cleans, release emotional residue, tension, or mental clutter. 4. Center, return to presence through stillness or meditation. 5. Cultivate, refill your well with nourishing activities, nature, art, connection, laughter. Each time you complete this loop, energy strengthens rather than depletes. You stop living in cycles of crash and recovery and begin living in perpetual renewal. In emotional sustainability, our emotional energy is the most frequently drained, often not by work but by resistance. Holding on to guilt, anger, or resentment consumes vast amounts of life force. Emotional sustainability means letting energy move. Feel fully, express gently, release freely. When emotion flows, energy clears. When emotion stagnates, fatigue follows. Sustainability requires honesty with self, acknowledging when something hurts, setting boundaries before depletion, and allowing space for grief and joy alike. Every emotion, when accepted, becomes fuel for wisdom. The practice of energetic boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are flow regulators. They ensure energy moves in balance. What comes in equals what goes out. Without boundaries, energy leaks. With rigid boundaries, energy stagnates. The sustainable path lies in flexible boundaries, firm yet compassionate. You protect your time and attention not out of fear, but out of reverence for your life force. You learn to say no as an act of energetic integrity, preserving space for what truly nourishes your spirit. Sustainability in action. Here are daily ways to embody the sustainable energy mindset. Start the day with grounding. Breathe deeply before engaging with technology or tasks. Anchor your energy before dispersing it. Follow energy, not schedule if possible. Arrange creative work during high energy times and reflective work during lower phases. Rest consciously, don't collapse in exhaustion. Rest with awareness. Stretch, meditate, breathe. Honor transitions between work and home, day and night, activity and rest. Pause to reset energy. Feed the field, youths alive with prana. Life forces, fresh, colorful, vibrant. Detach from outcomes. The more you cling, the more energy drains. Flow with trust. A sleep as sacred night is not an interruption, it is the body's temple of restoration. These practices are simple yet powerful. They rebuild the rhythm of your inner world in harmony with the universe. The energy reciprocity. Sustainable energy thrives on exchange. Giving and receiving are not opposites. They are one continuous current. When you give generously but also receive openly, energy circulates like fresh water. But when you only give, or only take, the current becomes stagnant. This applies to relationships, work, and even spirituality. You serve best when you are nourished. You inspire best when you are inspired. To sustain your light, allow others to give back. Let nature silence and love refill your reservoir. The mindset shift, a sustainable energy mindset, is a shift from ownership to stewardship. You don't have energy, you partner with it. You listen, adjust, and co-create. Instead of demanding, you collaborate with your own flow. Instead of pushing, you align. Instead of depleting, you regenerate. This mindset transforms work into joy, service into renewal, and rest into creation. When you live sustainably, every breath gives back more than it takes. The power of enough. Sustainability begins with enoughness. The endless hunger for more success, more productivity, more validation, drains energy faster than any physical exertion. But when you feel that what you are, have, and give is enough, energy stabilizes. Gratitude that prevents overconsumption. The moment you stop chasing, energy stops escaping. You shift from depletion to abundance not by acquiring, but by appreciating. The spiritual dimension of sustainability, at the deepest level. Sustainable energy is spiritual alignment. When your actions reflect your purpose, when your service is infused with love, energy flows infinitely. You become a conduit for universal life force, not a separate generator. The energy that sustains stars sustains you. To live sustainably is to live in devotion, honoring the rhythm of creation by embodying it. When you rest, you honor the yin. When you act, you honor the yang. When you balance both, you return to wholeness. Closing reflection. The sustainable energy mindset is not a discipline. It is a lifestyle of reverence. It teaches you to rest the sacred rhythm of existence, inhale and exhale, give and receive, rise and rest. When you stop fighting the rhythm, energy becomes endless. Not because you have more, but because you waste nothing. You live like a tree, absorbing light, offering shade, standing rooted yet flexible. You give without depletion, shine without burning out, and grow without forcing. That is true sustainability, not survival, but symphony, a life in harmony with energy, forever renewing itself through awareness, balance, and grace. Mastery and legacy. To master energy is not merely to harness personal power. It is to become a conscious participant in the evolution of life itself. Energy mastery begins as self-awareness, but matures into service. It starts with learning how to regulate your vibration, emotions, and focus. It ends with realizing that your energy is not yours alone. It is the current through which the universe experiences itself. When you reach this understanding, mastery transforms into legacy. And the journey from self to source, every seeker begins at the same place within. We study our energy to heal, to grow, to reclaim balance. We learn to manage our emotions, protect our boundaries, and expand our awareness. But there comes a point where personal transformation evolves into collective contribution. When your light grows steady, it begins to illuminate others. This is the natural unfolding of mastery, from healing self to healing world. From using energy to survive, to using energy to serve. When you understand that your vibration influences the collective field, every word, thought, and intention rippling into existence, you begin to live with reverence. Each act becomes sacred. Each moment becomes creative power. Mastery is simplicity. True mastery is quiet. It is not about dominance, control, or superiority. It is clarity, the ability to remain balanced amid any storm, to act from alignment rather than reaction. The master does not force energy, they direct it with grace. They no longer seek validation or comparison because they have tasted truth. Energy is infinite, and what is infinite need not compete. Mastery is humility. It is knowing that the universe breathes through you, not because you are chosen, but because you are open. At the architecture of mastery. To sustain mastery, 3 qualities become your foundation. 1. Presence, living fully in the now. No longer fragmented by past or future, you anchor energy in this moment, where power actually resides. 2. Purity, refining intention. Every thought and act flows from love rather than fear, from service rather than ego. 3. Purpose, channeling energy toward upliftment. You no longer expend power randomly, you direct it consciously toward creation, healing, or awakening. Presence is the container, purity the vibration, purpose the direction. Together they form the trinity of mastery. The legacy of energy. Legacy is not measured in monuments or fame. It is the energetic imprint you leave upon the world. Each person you inspire, each soul you comfort, each idea you plant, becomes a ripple of light extending beyond time. Your energy shapes the collective consciousness, long after your words are forgotten. This is why a single act of genuine kindness has cosmic significance. Energy never dies, it transforms and multiplies. The Master understands this, and therefore lives deliberately. Every gesture, every silence, every creation becomes a contribution to the frequency of the planet. Legacy is not built through ambition, but through alignment. The Master's relationship with energy. When you truly master energy, you realize it was never about control. It was about cooperation. Energy responds to awareness, not command. The more conscious you are, the more fluidly energy flows. The Master does not fight energy, they listen. They feel the pulse of life and move in rhythm with it. Speaking when inspired, resting when called, serving when moved. This surrender to flow is not passivity, it is partnership with creation. Energy mastery is not a throne. It is a tuning fork. You resonate so purely with life that all around you harmonizes. The subtle power of influence. Energy is contagious. When your vibration becomes stable, others feel safe, seen, and uplifted in your presence. You heal not by teaching but by being. The most powerful legacy is silent transmission. When your calm inspires calm, your clarity dissolves confusion, your love awakens love. This is energetic leadership, changing the world not through control, but through coherence. Your legacy, then, is the frequency you maintain. Your impact is not what you do. It is who you are while doing it. Youth and energy and leadership. Leadership in the new age of consciousness is no longer about authority. It is about resonance. People follow energy before they follow words. A true leader leads through embodiment. They become the vibration others wish to rise to. This requires self-mastery, the ability to remain centered amid chaos, compassionate amid challenge, and luminous amid darkness. Every soul who touches this level of leadership contributes to planetary awakening. Your balanced energy becomes a beacon in a fragmented world. This is legacy in motion. A master's practice. A master continues to practice, not out of lack, but devotion. Daily rituals of grounding, gratitude, breath work, and silence are not maintenance. They are communion. You don't keep your energy up. You stay in relationship with it. You listen, refine, and celebrate it. Mastery is not a destination, it is a lifelong dance of remembering and returning. The shadow of mastery. Even as you grow in light, humility must deepen. Ego loves to reappear in subtle forms, as spiritual pride or superiority. The moment you believe you have arrived, stagnation begins. Stay a student of energy. Let curiosity remain your compass. The Master knows that mastery itself is an illusion. There is only infinite deepening. The legacy of light. Imagine the energy you carry as a flame. Every encounter, every creation, every intention is a chance to pass that flame forward, to light another candle without diminishing your own. That is legacy. It is not a monument of stone. but a field of light expanding across generations. You become part of the eternal lineage of healers, artists, leaders, and dreamers who have used their energy to elevate consciousness. You are not here to conquer life. You are here to illuminate it. Living the legacy. Daving the legacy is not something you leave behind, it's something you live every day. It is the energy you bring into rooms, the compassion you extend to strangers, the authenticity you radiate in silence. Each choice is a signature on eternity's canvas. Each breath is part of your masterpiece. To live consciously is to write your legacy with light. The eternal cycle. When you live as energy, you no longer fear endings, for energy never ends. What you give today becomes tomorrow's inspiration. What you love today becomes the seed of someone else's awakening. Your life merges with the rhythm of the universe, infinite exchange, perpetual renewal. This is the secret of immortality. Not the preservation of body, but the continuation of frequency. Closing speech. The flame of mastery. This can serve as the emotional and spiritual conclusion of the entire energy mastery address. My friends, we began this journey by learning that energy is life itself, that every thought, word, and action carries vibration. We learned to listen to our bodies, to guard our emotions, to honor our rhythms, to breathe with awareness. We discovered that intuition is the voice of energy, creativity its dance, and sustainability its wisdom. But mastery, true mastery, is not about power. It is about presence. It is the grace to move with life rather than against it. To master energy is to live as light, to walk into the world knowing that your frequency matters, that your calm can heal storms, and your compassion can awaken hope. You are not separate from the source of creation. You are that source in motion. Every breath is the universe breathing through you. Every heartbeat is a spark of eternity pulsing in your chest. So live intentionally. Speak words that lift the vibration of those around you. Create beauty not for fame, but for balance. Rest not from exhaustion, but from reverence. Let your energy become your legacy. Let your kindness outlive your name. Let your light ripple through time, touching hearts you may never meet. Because when one being masters their energy, the entire universe expands in harmony. You are that being. You are that light. You are the living legacy of energy mastery. Shine gently but endlessly. Flow freely but faithfully. For the greatest legacy is not what you build, it's the vibration you leave behind. Thank you.